Percolate. 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 We're gonna stream Pandrew. Streaming
New Eden. A
dumbass
universe
bear.
brimming with possibility.
They ain't got no cure for that shit yet.
Give it about 6 minutes.
Ain't no cure for what?
Ericon.
What are you?
H virus.
What's
I
up,
was gonna say,
bro?
what are you over there doing that you ain't talking
What's
about?
up, bro?
Because you were talking.
Okay.
Paracon. What's up with it?
I always mute.
Give it about 6 minutes. This is gonna pick up. It's gonna really pick up here pretty quick. How's everybody doing?
Hit the like, the subscribe, and the share. And don't forget
Easy
to make
Biddy,
the
what's
little
up,
bell ring.
What's going on?
And just
baby?
saying, maybe you should make sure you're looking at all messages instead of top chat. There's a button to
Flip
switch.
over to top chat. That's all you got to do. Flip to top chat. Pandrew, I don't know how much I missed. I'm not gonna go backwards. Seems like he might be a little triggered again. It's like 4 days in a row. This dude, he probably needs some rest by now. Shit. I promise you need some rest. Give me 2 minutes.
No, I definitely don't waste nearly as much coffee as people do in a regular coffee, Mr. Coffee Pot. Yes. Okay, so
I know,
when
girl. I
she
use little Keurigs every
got
morning.
dizzy, she fell, and yeah, she did hit her head.
Oh no! Yikes!
Yes, when Allison fell, or when Allison had gotten dizzy on Sunday, she did hit her head when she fell.
Ooh man! Shouts out to Allie. Speedy recovery in the house. Speedy recovery in the house.
Look, everybody's in here. Go to the doctors.
Hello, everyone. Ericon here. Yes, you heard correctly, Ericon. I've been doing a few lives for my brother here, and this is what I come across because it's fun listening to these two old hags run their mouth about me. It pisses me off about Hunter. You know, Andrew's big boy, he's got on his own. Hunter doesn't go on here, and he can't defend himself, so that irritates me. But I don't care if it's about me, but I
Hold
listen
on,
and read all
bro.
this.
He does come on here and defend himself with his whole gang, Jack. What you talking about, bro? Oh man, this is some of that weird, like, here, take the reins of my YouTube channel shit. Oh man, bro. Okay, so I guess this is about Ericon. I should have really, I guess, looked at it before I brought y'all in here like this here. I do apologize. I don't know. I should have known it wasn't Pandrew. In fact, while I got you here, for fuck's sake, let me do this here real quick. I did make a video for Pandrew. This is the deal. Like, I listened to this dude a couple of times now. I listened to Josh and Chris. That was a priceless expose. That's how two betas lose their shit at the same time in tandem. Like they run into 440. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Josh is the fucking anchor leg. And not the kind of anchor you would think. I mean, like the anchor in a literal sense. Like he's gonna fucking hold this whole thing down and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's anchored up, you know. But so I like, if I ever gave a shit enough about Andrew to tell my son about Pandrew, I would only tell my kids the truth about Pandrew because I couldn't make up anything more grand than what he's actually done to himself, right? So I would probably say, hey, son, you know, this person, he's a boy, but he wants boobies like a girl, right? Now, you better brush your teeth. This guy says he refuses to brush his teeth. If you decide you want to refuse to brush your teeth, I'm not going to let you refuse. to brush your teeth. You're going to refuse to not brush your teeth. You're going to be brushing, boy. I tell him the truth. I wouldn't say, hey, hey, Pandrew set his homeboy up and got him murdered, or he set his baby's mom up and she went to prison for drugs, his drugs. I wouldn't come here and lie directly to my son's face. I would feel no need to do that. And I especially would raise a son that wouldn't just say, wow, man, those are pretty heavy accusations, Pop. Can you show me any proof of that? And then, Benny Keys might come on and just fucking in the worst kind of way feel compelled to show you while you sitting there talking shit about shit you don't even know about, while you pulling your own teeth, pink lady, my homeboy's case is fucking unsolved still. While you telling your derelict ass son a lie you know to be a lie, and just that quickly I could pull it up right here and tell you and show you. My homeboy's case is still a cold case, little buddy. It's crazy. But if I'm the one that did it, if I'm the one that has something to do with setting them up, that means you would know because it went through a court. Ain't that right? So what you've done is regurgitated the lie of a liar, which I hate that you've done that. Hoo-ah. But you didn't just lie to your derelict ass son about some gangster shit that you don't even know about. My homeboy shit is still a cold case, little buddy. Uh-huh. That's G-Dog. Yep. That's G. So while you sitting there telling your derelict ass son some shit, bro, you really fucking up out here. You're really fucking up. And what you're doing is you watching us all lie directly to your son. Nothing new. We expect nothing less than the best from you. We expect nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. It's crazy, man. You don't know shit about your own son's case. You definitely don't know shit about my best friend's case at all. You don't know shit about this. This is out your pay range, little homie. You over there pulling your own teeth out and shit. You talking about a fucking legend right here. Better shut your fucking mouth, little boy. You and your daddy. Straight up. Hey, independent, baby. You know what? I tried to figure it out. I've been trying to figure out a bunch of things. But what I have figured out is that for whatever reason, Hunter looks at me like a formidable opponent. A formidable opponent. He looks at me like the only person worthy of his response. And I think it must be some street shit. I mean, clearly, I think it's some street shit, right? The dude, he just clearly thinks that, oh, well, this guy, he's street. Boy, I'd have been rapping longer than you've been alive, little homie. Straight up. And this ain't some, oh, well, then why haven't you made it to the big leagues? Bro, I know people from here to Amsterdam with this music shit, little boy. You quit all this shit. His father fed his head full of a bunch of bullshit. Benny set his friend up. There is no conclusion to my friend's case. How the fuck you gonna sit there and lie to your son and know that this the thing, little buddy. When you lie to your derelict ass son, Andrew, this is what you need to do, little homie. You need to make sure you lie to him about a motherfucker that won't come here and show you to be a liar to your son, buddy. Now I'm showing your son you done lied to him. Yeah. Now, I don't even know how to show you. I don't even know how to show you a case that your dumbass daddy told you somebody went to prison for some drugs, because that bitch never been to prison in her life. So I don't even know how to show you receipts of some shit that never happened. But I can show you some receipts right here. Your daddy just lying to you. I know you don't give a fuck about that. Because the whole internet telling us that your mom is okay, she's going to be just fine. People in a coma just rarely ever start moving their muscles in their eyes and things, which is a blessing. But I mean, this woman, she's abused herself her whole life, unfortunately, but she seems to have the key to beat aneurysms and comas and untreated pneumonias. Like, she got the real cheat code. He wants to cash you outside. Yeah, that boy need to worry about navigating this scenario first. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about no punter. Hell, you mean? You ain't worried about no bam bam? Hell no. He had her toe tag 2 days ago. Hell yeah. Had her dead to rights. Every pun intended, I guess. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It had to be that way. It had to be that this fool, I mean, nobody's gonna cash out money if she's not on her deathbed. For real. No one is gonna cash out this fool if she's not on her deathbed. She has to be on her deathbed to even receive $5, let alone $50. You know what I'm saying? For real. I mean, you're really in 2024, a whole bunch of people on the internet need to start looking at like what your mom said, like consider the source. When your mother used to tell you, consider the source, right? You get on this internet and for lack of a better word, I think it's mainly a personality group of people that's aggressive. We're all like pretty aggressive people, and when you can't just grab a hold of somebody's shirt collar and shake the sense into them, well then you get all groovy on the internet. That's the other thing, Kiko. People they absolutely have the right to know what they're getting into, right? I mean, Andrew wasn't venomous like he is now until we sort of, as a community, we put a stop to, okay, no. This is Allie's situation. Why is Andrew asking people to cash app him money to send to his son? It looks a little more viable when you just have his cash app out there. But even that, right? Even that is derelict. That's derelict stuff. That's derelict shit. That's derelict ass shit. You know what I mean? What the fool do? Just come here and lie 19 times, wave a cigarette in our face for 30 fucking minutes while he did it, and then talk about being a gang member and being gang affiliated and shit. I just want to have you know, little buddy, you're not really gang affiliated. That doesn't mean that when your kids are born, that they're just naturals. They born into it. That ain't gonna be what it is. Furthermore, one of my questions is, and maybe here in the chat, because I can see it right now, maybe here in the chat, why don't you tell me what is the deal here with the twins? Right? I don't know. I don't care. Is this some sort of hillbilly joke? Or what is this? Right? Because hold on, let me mute this. Because if he's got twins, I'm hearing Andrew say dumb shit like, oh, one's going to be black and one's going to be white. Look here, if that's the case, and we know that this fool likes black girls, I would almost be willing to say this fool got two chicks pregnant at the same time. Is that what's actually going on? Does this fool have two chicks pregnant at the same time? There you go, Mississippi Mud Pie. That's the way it should be, right? It should be that way, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Tough love as fuck. There you go. Weird as shit. So I don't know what that means. It's starting to mean, like, when you really break it down to a non-East Tennessee type party, starts to sound like, I mean, quite naturally, we know this white girl is not going to give birth to a black baby and a white baby. And I've heard twins now many times. So I don't think it's Danny DeVito or Arnold Schwarzenegger in here neither. So I'm starting to think that this fool got two different chicks pregnant at the same time. Turn the page. There you go, baby. This fool didn't even know that his own son's having twins. What the fuck? Yeah, you don't know shit. You know less than most of us, bro. For real. And I know some things you don't know this morning. Hell yeah. Independent. That was a beautiful video. You've sort of found a formula there. I think that could be a new template where you could put, I just listened to that thing over and over and over. You could put very abrasive shit. It's almost like a formula. It's a template, baby. Look at me when I tell you. It's like you put all videos that are that inflammatory with the C, with the sound, and people may be able to digest it a little bit differently because it's almost like they multitasking. When you just let them listen to just what Chubb Selena said, right? You just said it. You know what I'm saying? But then you kind of making them get back into that multitask where they really soaking it up when you put the ocean with it. I love it. I think it would be great on all super abrasive videos. It makes it worth rewatching. So his girlfriend is black. She came on the screen after his sister. Man, it was a whole white girl standing behind him. It's not my business. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's his little sister. Who knows? However, they take your bitch ass outside and smoke them cigarettes. Shit. Yeah, he's going to learn today. Hold on 1 second.
And they got it fucking so twisted. It's funnier than hell. And I'm gonna let you know something. It is the other way around. That it's proven fact. I have 3 other goddamn witnesses, legit witnesses, proving that Ghost is a fucking stalker. This woman has fucking
It hit different. It didn't hit different.
eyes for me.
It hit a lot different. I like it. I think that it could be, you can make that a series people start really looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? They understand that some real inflammatory shit is going to be put in a template where it's almost soothing to listen to. Yeah, you're gonna start people start implementing a different portion of their brain when they listen to that. That's just my opinion.
Nonstop. Like, I don't talk to her. All she does is fucking run her mouth and talk about me, whether it be good or bad. It's still talking about me. Come on now.
Yeah, that was good. You know, we talked to Ericon yesterday. We did understand that fool was sent over here as a distraction, a shield from the truth, which it happened how it was supposed to happen, right? Because we went ahead and just moved right on to letting Tiffany get to it, right? So let me see here. Okay. Let me go. I'm gonna go straight to Mama Bear. Let's see what she's got. What she got crack-a-lacking. You understand me? That bitch, Mama Bear. She's that bitch.
Starvation, rape and or gang rape, beating, confinement, threats of violence towards the victim's family, forced drug use, and the shame. Would you say, Ma?
Doesn't sound like too much. Damn, they've been going 6 hours? Holy shit.
No.
Holy.
They come into my
20
life,
milligrams of
and
Adderall.
Ghost's life, and said we can play something, then threaten us and everything. No, hell to them. No. And then you got.
I always feel a little bit dumber after I listen to Mama Bear. That's no lie. I always feel a little bit stupider. So you got to really take her in doses. You got to be careful. Fuck around with Mama Bear, you come back. You'll come back like Dustin Hoffman, just without any of the good shit, right? So, man, I mean to tell you, Jack, for real, you're going to come back dull as hell in real life. You're going to come back pretty bland. You're gonna lose that fine, honed, sharpened edge. You just gonna be dull. Couldn't even cut butter. You put both hands on it. Hold on one second.
Guys.
Oh, it's gonna be a surprise?
Yeah.
Gonna go and use my channel without even asking me? No. Not when you are my main suspect in everything. That's not gonna fucking happen.
What'd you say?
I want to know if you think that shit's fake, right? Mama Bear, because she's got me real sussed about her. And does the chat think that it's fake? Mama Bear and her bullshit? Because or she doesn't know what she wants ever. She's either friends with Andrew and all in the know about everything, or she's fucking saying what now she said he's her number one suspect. She laying it on a little thick and heavy, eh?
Hey?
Eh?
You knew she was gonna.
She was gonna lay it on. She's gonna lay it on thick.
She's gonna.
Laying it on thick like Jody?
Oh, well, you speak on it then. Shit.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to behave over here.
Speak on it. Get it off your chest. Puff up.
The roosters are speaking for me.
I could stop that real quick. No, you were actually maybe even thinking about discussing.
Yeah, I am thinking about discussing it because what I'm observing is a bit strange and surprising, and there's some changes going on here.
The people are listening. The people are listening.
They are?
Yeah.
What are they saying? Let me see. I'll go look in the chat. I was handling an email over here.
Ooh.
Let me see. Let me see your chat.
They're listening. Independences, they're listening. Laced in perfume. Turn the page.
Oh, where are you at? Music Biz Benny?
Yeah.
Okay, I just went to your other channel. It wasn't live. Oh, hey, turn the page. Sarisa. What a surprise. Yeah, Benny, call me on the phone. Hey, Laced in Perfume. And hey, everybody. I don't know. I should probably save this stuff about Jody. I don't want to.
Should.
Yeah, I don't want to hijack your stream. I think it's being done purposely anyway. So we'll wait on it. It's not, I don't want to attack Jody. I don't want to fuck with her. I just want to note what I'm observing here because I'm very confused. Very confused in her choice words for both of us when we have not done anything to Hunter. We have not done anything to Andrew.
I'm not. We're not the ones that left him without toiletries and food and stuff.
No,
they're treating us like we did it.
It seems like to me, and I'll just leave it here, and then later another day I'll discuss it or something. I mean, I'll I don't mind reaching out to Jody in private about it, truly, but and I do like to do that with her, like to give her the opportunity to do that, but I'm not going to sit around and be called a piece of shit for putting Summer first. And this is when I have to take the step back and say, what the fuck? Like, why is this happening again, right? Why is it again that Summer is not coming first? That's what I do. Is and to write a narrative and to spin it and flip it and chop it and screw it as if we are doing something to them when we're not. Advocating for Summer should not be a fucking crime on YouTube in this community. It should be something that everybody is, involved in doing.
Don't hurt yourself, girl.
Oh, why Jody's not advocating for Summer in this situation and circumstance? And where did her fondness and her extreme support, compassion, love, and understanding of all things come from for?
I have a theory on it.
Yeah,
I actually, and I haven't really told you the theory. My theory on what we're seeing with Jody is before she was extremely upset with Hunter for even mentioning Andy. She, remember what we went through with her and Andrew, and what did Hunter say, Andy or Andrew, or did it like?
Well, now he's up. Now Hunter's saying Andy Bernard was the one touching the kids.
Correct. It's developed to a point where you would expect Jody Stool to be even madder. Like, why is she not have the same energy as when he was making him just a drug dealer? Now he's making the man a pedophile, right? He's making the man the person running around touching kids, but Jody's not upset about that. And my theory is that she went ahead and she supported this fucking mess a little bit too early.
Okay.
And the thing turned around on her. And now the next day, right? So the first day she could support it and share it and look like it was all in the good. And then yesterday, he does all the shit he does, making Andy a pedophile, but she's already latched onto it in the stance. So what you're seeing now is just pure, unadulterated, oppositional stance by Jody. Like, now she's going to latch on even harder because she was wrong.
Well, she's not gonna lie, and that's my issue. I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her. I'm a little bit fascinated. Again, sitting here fascinated. I was watching with a group of girls.
She doesn't lie about what?
Fascinated by her.
That bitch lies like a rug, baby.
I'm fascinated by her adoration for Andrew and Hunter. So, and for instance, this is what I'm fascinated by. Human behavior really does get me, right? So I get very interested quickly when I see changes. You've got Andrew who says, "Hey, fuck boy," and Jody smiles.
Yeah.
Listen, the smile that I saw from her, and I think I've only seen her smile this way toward her children. Okay? That's straight up. I know the look of Jody and her love for her children. She adores her children. And she was making the same facial expressions toward Hunter and Andrew. While Andrew was, it was weird.
It was like Jody was a proud dad.
Yes. It was like she was
a doting father.
It was like she was the mother looking at her son and husband, like very happy and pleased with their interactions. But it was Andrew saying, "Hey, fuck boy, put a shirt on," and she was just enamored by them. And her face changed to completely loving and adorning, like it was strange to me. Very strange.
It was a screenshot mafia menagerie, baby.
What I'm noticing, though, what stands out the most, and listen, I don't have a problem at all with her having compassion for
me either. I really don't.
Not at all.
I don't give a shit what she sends her money to.
Sure. No problem at all. What I'm noticing, though, is that I'm feeling there may have been actually a far greater relationship between Jody and the Harris Mullaney family.
I would have to agree 100%.
That's what I'm just, and it's not that it's true, but it's what I'm thinking and observing and saying, okay, well, it looks like to me, and sounds like to me, they've been far more involved with one another throughout the years than first led to believe, because she's actually showing pure love for Hunter. Pure love is what I see in her face. I see the same face she makes when her children walk into the room. And
send me one of them. I'll show it real quick.
Sure.
Yeah. I know maybe many of you didn't see it. Maybe some of you did. And we're pretty happy about the fact that more people are not seeing it now as opposed to seeing it. But
what are you laughing at?
well, you know, just the ratios have turned a little, you know.
If I'm wrong, listen, if I'm wrong, maybe I'm misunderstanding something. She can correct me. I'm not saying I'm just saying it looks like to me we have a situation here that maybe Jody, I don't know, maybe she was around Hunter at times, or when the kids would play in the yard or come over, whatever, maybe he's eating dinner at her house. I get that. If my son has a shit ton of friends that I would smile at just the same way. The boys that have been in and out of my house throughout the years, it kind of just, it feels like there's more we don't know, like a relationship between families that we may be unaware of. And I could be wrong, but it just appears that way with the reaction she's given this whole situation, and she's accusing us of attacking Hunter. Nobody has attacked. I wouldn't ever attack Hunter. My concern is Summer, always has been, and what I'm looking at is quite concerning in terms of the case, right? Not her stuff. It's just watching her reaction to all of this and making us villains of sorts, because we said, hold the phone, ask a couple questions. Jody's very big on dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, right? She always says, check on it, make sure you report it. Speaking about two people that were with Summer last, and we're supposed to be checking on everything, right, Jody? So that's what I did. Don't ever shame me for that. I'll never regret doing that. You're not going to say, shame on Tiffany for calling a hospital. I did call a hospital. Benny had nothing to do with it. I called 4 hospitals, in fact. Benny had nothing to do with that. Okay. And period, end of story. No one's going to tell me I can't. I don't know what the problem is when it comes to Summer, why we're not allowed to verify information and make sure that this community is not being taken for another ride, if God forbid that's what was going on. Now, Allie seems to be quite a miracle, because I didn't know she survived 2 brain aneurysms. I also noticed that picture that Andrew shared of Allie, actually, I'm not even going to say anything. You guys take a look at all those things and compare. Now, Hunter said 5 years ago, right? 5 years ago.
The quality of the photo even seemed to be old quality.
Check out her hair. Check out her weight, her face, and that it was very poor quality. But I wanted to make sure, because I had questions, naturally, that we have a responsibility as creators in this community to make sure people aren't being fucked over. How many times is it going to happen? So many. It's like a new grift every week. And yeah, no, I'm not going to take her abuse and be called a piece of shit for putting Summer first. So fuck you, Jody. Fuck you. I'm sick of it. Okay. Every time that I think that something is important, she's going to fight me on it. Like, if I say black, she says white. If she says white, I say, okay, let's talk about it. She's not like that with me. Tiffany's a piece of shit. Benny's a piece of shit. No, actually, we're not. We're still here. We're still waiting. We're still hoping for summer. Okay?
It's always people with no teeth or live in a camper want to judge other people and try to make the masses believe it.
She's literally doting upon someone who had somebody in the background saying to get the fuck over summer yesterday. That's what she's doing. So we're the bad guys. But that piece of shit over there had someone screaming, get the fuck over summer.
Who
right?
is saying that?
Bad.
Who is saying that?
Andrew's wife's brother.
Andrew's wife's brother.
The uncle over here, that weird guy with the toolbox in the closet that is always yelling weird, crazy things at the kids, like nipples and all that shit, right?
Oh, gee. Are you serious?
Yes. There's a bunch of men that live over there in that house with those kids, and it's a weird situation. But yeah, we're the bad guys, Jody. Wake the fuck up. How dysfunctional is this? Like, I don't even know.
It's very dysfunctional. She's calling shots from her fucking aluminum headquarters, and she thinks that, the whole world is seeing this shit. And it's, actually what's happening is less and less and less people are watching her.
Well, it's a shame because I really put aside everything to try to work together for summer. Like, it's fine, whatever. Hate on me every day of your life. Hate on Benny every. Say the worst things, Jody. I heard what you said yesterday. I'm not even going to repeat it. But for you to say the things that you did, that's hurtful and it's horrible, and you don't even know what you're talking about.
No, tell me about the $200 if you care to.
Oh, well, and I don't even want to do that to her. Like,
don't. You don't have to. That's okay.
Well, no, I will say this, and I said it last night when I was talking to the girls in Discord, because, this is like the real shit. I don't mind being open about my feelings. I'm more curious to know, like, first of all, okay, so I'll be the first one to help somebody if they need help, right? But when you help someone and then a week later they're like, shit, you're a fucking piece of shit, like, it's kind of like, all right. And then, you'll help them if you can again or whatever, put it aside. Like, I can put a lot of things aside and forget. If I had helped with that situation, which I don't even know what it was, and I don't know, but would she be doing this today? Probably. And that's the thing. It's ungrateful and it's rude. It's really rude because Jody knows for a fact if she needed something, especially when it came to summer, I would jump no matter what it was. Literally. And I think she takes advantage of that. I think she does take advantage of the fact that I do have a soft spot for her. I don't wish ill on her, and I've been really graceful with her. Like, I don't get why she is doing this. So what I think is, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about something to do with these people. Because why would she be so into what's going on? She laid it on so thick and heavy, like putting Allison in a grave while Andrew's saying she's got eye movement, she's got muscle movement, she's responding. And Jody is like basically putting her in the grave, saying that the kids are going to have to give birth to the babies without her. We don't know that. We don't even know if she's actually in the hospital, right? So, the fuck? But either way, it's like, all right, it's the acting that I saw come out again. And they're saying that Allie's going to be evicted from her house. Okay, they said yesterday, and I don't know if she's behind on streams or what's going on, but Grandpa and Sherry had gone to the courthouse to make sure that they had gotten the documents to them. No one's getting evicted, okay? I'm pretty sure it was said she's got the voucher. So I don't think you can evict people that are
Unless they got people living there that aren't supposed to be living there under the voucher.
You might be,
so it could be a scenario where they're like, no, you can't have any 18-year-old kids living with you.
Well,
I mean,
even,
she can't have
people with charges, any criminal
there you
charges,
go.
manipulation. So
there you go, right there. He can't be living there because he's been charged up with felonies.
Okay. All right. So now that's a great point. Now, Jody yesterday was like really, really concerned with the living situation. And I do not judge her for that. I think to have compassion for someone who's going to be evicted in the middle of winter is the right thing to do. But with that being said, it was already being taken care of, and they're going to the court to make sure that it's all squared away. You've got 2 children in that house who, I don't know why they're living there. They weren't living there before. They hadn't been living there for a while. Suddenly this situation goes down. I didn't even know Allie was being evicted till last night when I was listening to Jody. So now, why is it that this all came about while she was being evicted? 2 of her kids are one's having twins, the other one's having a baby. This sounds like a money situation to me. Like, does this not sound like a money situation?
I mean, I think it does. However, like, and I'm not saying this isn't anything. This isn't to cross anyone's opinion. It's just like for me, I've really grown to the space in my time on the YouTube where, when someone says they're the victim of something, maybe that's why I'm a pushover. Yeah, I'm just like, man, damn, I just believe them, right? Until and I don't go looking for proof that they are or they aren't. I have before, maybe in the future I will, if it suits me to do so, like to call wherever. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. When you're a public figure, you assume all of the laws of gravity of being a public figure, right? Like this is when you've got stalkers like Belinda and shit out here, like you're a public figure. When you've got fanatics, you're a public figure. Doesn't matter if you want to be or you're not, they're going to treat you like that. And they're going to make you, some of them will make you their devil, and some of them will make you their Jesus. But in the meanwhile, this place is so defunct that it's really like, I'm starting to see, and I've said it now probably for a couple of years here and there, when it gets really bad, really ugly, like what we should actually be doing is advocating that people don't bring their situations here looking for, don't, like when you hear of cases starting to fire up to get here, man, make every opportunity you can to try to reach out to the family and say, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Do not go to YouTube. Please do not go speak with people on YouTube. Any people. You don't even have to answer this correspondence. Please do not, that's the real advocacy, I think. That's what, because, I made the mistake of calling myself an advocate one time 3 years ago, and somebody slapped me with a dose of reality, and they were like, Benny Keys, you are not an advocate, bro. You are an activist.
Yeah, you may have felt that because when you're advocating for someone or something, and I get so easy for it to roll off your mouth, right?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I was just saying for me, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, only for me. I actually, I guess to sort of the silver lining to it was I fell into feeling like an activist was a stronger role, anyways. To be honest with you, like when a true advocate isn't going to look at someone that's bashing or bullying on the internet and bully them. They're not going to get caught up in bullying someone back that's bullying someone that's weaker. They're not a Captain Save a Hoe. They're none of those things, right? They basically they get assigned their situation. They go advocate for it. Advocating isn't, slugging the people in the head that slug baby seals. That's not advocating. That's activist. That is a needed role, I guess, in some hierarchies in the evolution. But to me, that's kind of where I'm at, right? Like I would, that would be sort of that soft place to land for people that would think that YouTube is a viable resource for anything other than drama. It just isn't, right? Like and maybe you could get someone like Michael Vaughn's mom, or a few others that have had a bad experience, and that in itself, you just have them say occasionally, like, or have them reach out as the figurehead, like, hey, listen, don't bring your issues to YouTube. Like, you could do TikTok, wherever else. I'm sure every place has its bowel, but the YouTube is especially dark. I digress.
I'm outside having a cigarette, so I don't know if it sounds. Loki said that Tracy, Chasing Truth, said that she can verify that Allie's in the hospital. Listen, she very well may be. Whether she is or she isn't, I personally could not care less. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that because there's no way for me to prove it, right? So I'm not going to say she is or she isn't, because I don't know. It's been said she is. If she is, I do wish her the best. I do.
It's not so that you could verify and then
No.
brag on it. I know that's not what it is.
Not at all.
But people have that preconceived notion. And I think that those people that have a voice that also possess that preconceived notion are the ones that are guilty of infecting weaker minds with misinformation, with ad hominem, all of those things. It's just really, it's a dangerous environment.
Why is she speaking on? Why is Chasing Truth? See, here we have the sickness of the community coming in again, the criminal network and the cleanup crew.
Yes. Go ahead.
Huh?
Thank you for bringing that back up. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm all over the place. So, you've got the same people that were involved with, and we'll bring it back to the billboards. We'll bring it all the way back to 2021. Why not? Because it's still the same network of people that are coming around, right? So this information came out by way of ICU and Justin, right? And it came out in a chat. It was put out there so recklessly that people were calling us and saying it was Cam's alley. They cleared it up. I went through their comments. People were like basically telling they were selfish for thinking it was about them. No, people actually thought it was about Alley, right? So I'm glad that they did make that short. And so people don't even know where this started. All of it started with Mama Bear telling everybody that Allison Harris was inquiring from others to have their children get involved with her son to pry information out of him about Summer's disappearance because she knew her son knew more. Why is that being left out? That's how this all started. What came to be, this is what's all started it. It's very odd, the circumstances here and the sequence of events, because I was looking at my channel yesterday and the last live stream I did was Hunter's father implicates himself, Hunter, and Candace Wells in the disappearance of Summer.
Yeah.
4 weeks ago. This has been building up for 4 weeks.
It absolutely has.
Suddenly we've got someone in the hospital. Now, it may be a complete coincidence. That I don't personally believe in coincidences often, but they happen. And there's so much here that lies beneath. But here you've got Nana for Life, Chasing Truth, Yennefer, all of these people gathering around and doing the same shit as they always have, dropping the cash apps all over this, that, and the other. There's a lot wrong with this picture. That's all I know. And I'm not surprised it's going this way because it's the way it always is. Nothing ever changes around here. And you've got the godmother, right? Telling everyone this is legitimate, just like she did with Jose. Everyone had to take her word he was in the morgue, right? We have to take her word that Allie's in the hospital. Is it because she saw that picture? Is Chasing Truth aware that Allie survived 2 brain aneurysms? She's a 600-pound life miracle. She is a miracle. A woman of her size to survive 2 brain aneurysms, and she's pulling through out of a
Coma.
a legit coma, right? Like, I want to eat what she's eating to make sure I have full longevity. Yeah. For real, because she is a miracle if I ever heard of one. And Jody, wake the fuck up. I don't care if she made a mistake the first day. Who cares? I don't care if she made a mistake and thought and, used her heart. There's nothing to be ashamed of about that. But let's not be ridiculous here and cut the shit. For real. It's ridiculous. Why are they our responsibility? Those babies are going to be our responsibility too. The twins, if they're twins or 2 women are pregnant or 2 girls are pregnant, whatever, I'm not sure, because Andrew said he was going to have 1 African-American baby and 1 Caucasian baby. I don't know what that means. So do we have 2 girls pregnant by Hunter and True pregnant by her boyfriend? So 3 babies. They're going to need diapers, formula. This has only just begun. We're going to be seeing the cash apps floating for the next 2 years, probably in adolescence with these people. So, yeah, create the monster, Tracy.
Sonny,
good idea.
You're right. And you're right, too, TM. Nana for Life offered to go to Hunter's house that first night and bring them toiletries. The same group has their hands in everything.
Everything. Nana for Life, right on the spot. Johnny on the spot. What's the matter? Did he not want the toilet paper? He wanted money.
Okay, Sonny, gotcha.
They didn't really want the toilet paper. They just wanted the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand.
I don't know, Benny. I don't know. But I do have a lot to say. It's like every time I want to leave this place and take a break, it's like, well, shit. Here I am again, and I feel like I probably have 4 weeks of things to talk about because everything's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? You're right. And Sonny, who said Scout? I think that definitely, when you're a larger creator and you share it like that, I think that once they get the little notification that you've shared and tagged them, or you've shared whatever it is, however it notifies them, and whichever way that you've helped them, I think that's a nonchalant, low key way of saying, hey, I want that exclusive interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, come over here and talk to me about all this shit, or what, like if you want to, kind of deal, right? It's strange the subtleties that happen, all via just sharing something, or the way you share, or the position that you hold. Those things open up different opportunities down the way. Independent Thinker says, I see her in Granny's live this morning, but she said she didn't agree with Hunter being on here, and his mom didn't either, and made it out like Andrew got him to do this since Allie wasn't there.
Okay, so hold up.
Damn.
Independent Thinker. She just said something really important. I want to make sure it wasn't like a typo type of deal. But so it was said that Hunter's mom didn't agree with him being on here. So is she talking now? Is she awake? Because for Allie not to agree with him being on here would tell me she's aware of what's happening.
Absolutely. Look at this comment here, Sonny. Well, you're on fire. Chasing said in Granny's chat today that people shouldn't discuss what's going on. So she's all for sending money and not asking questions, which is fucking insane, because it's happening on a public platform. The parenting is happening in a bubble for us all to look at, like an aquarium. And she thinks that we shouldn't talk about it.
She knows better, and she knows my stilo over here. She's always known
Tracy? What are you
to ask questions.
Like that, you know what? We need to try to figure out a way. And I know Carl could just really cut the path for this, but some sort of way that we could, like, me, you, and whoever else we can get to share like a poll
Yeah.
to try to get some sort of idea, like just a baseline on what people think about a couple of things. Because like at this point, I'm not even sure anymore, like where you know what I'm saying? Like there's people out here, and I guess basically to try to center around oppositional defiance, a way to come up with a few questions with some polls that we can, maybe get 1,000 people to poll. Try to figure out what are people's oppositional defiance, because I really truly believe that the oppositional defiance to what people believe is some level of authority in their life, whether it's, oh, I don't want to get involved with him on YouTube or her on YouTube or whatever. Like, so you sort of pedestaled that person as that, right? Like it's got an authoritative role over your life. Whether you're better when you stay away from it, or you feel invigorated when you fuck around and clash with it, whatever it is, right? But that oppositional defiance is a major fueler for a lot of things that happen on everywhere. But I see it only here, right? That oppositional defiance is a crazy thing, because when you get people with egos going different directions in a situation that already has a lot of dynamics and angles to it, oh man, it's literal. It's a nightmare. It's a virtual nightmare. Tracing doesn't like to scratch more than the surface when it's important to dig deeper for the truth. I agree. Man, you guys are on fire. Sonny says Allison in the past never allowed H to go on Andrews, so it's possible that Andrew snatched the opportunity. Of course he did.
Yeah.
And the way that that sort of that silver lining to it, I think, Sonny, is the silver lining to it is hey, well, the kids, got some meals, and there may potentially be a little nest egg for, a few $100s or whatever they made for Allison to come back too, right? So she may be able to, there may be a relaxing, calming benefit to that for her to some degree. I would assume, right? But again, like going back to the oppositional defiance, like
before you do that, Benny, I want to do, but can I say to answer what? I lost it. It's okay. Go on.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
H is going to be 18 in March, so Chasing's interview with H is, yeah.
Oh, I know what it was.
Go, fire.
So I also will say I don't agree at all with the timing of it. And say Allie is in the hospital, right? For Hunter to appear now while she's in the hospital, let's say it this way too. Is it now that the truth is going to come out because Hunter feels he's able to actually express himself without Allie there? Because if Allie has been trying to now, also it was said by Independent Thinker that Chasing didn't say that Allie said it, but that Chasing had said in the chat that Allie tried to shield him from this.
Gotcha.
Now, so that's cleared up. I want to make sure that we have it clear. It's very interesting to me that he'd come out when she's under the weather and not, coherent. And if it is that, and it is important to know if she's really dealing with this, because it's going to come down to Hunter being able to feel like he can talk now finally, or if he's only here for a grift. And what better grifting season would it be right after Christmas, when people have run their bank accounts negative and all the things, and they need to get their money back, and you're being evicted, and you've got 3 grandbabies on the way. Nobody finds it strange that all these things are happening at this very time that they need this money. And don't forget, leading up to this, how much Andrew has been asking for help. Is anybody paying attention?
Yeah. I mean, over and over and over, to answer your question about how many times. It's that in the bubble stuff I've been talking about, right? It's you be able to just walk up and put your head in the bubble and just look around underneath the sea and see all the crazy shit.
Like the fish tank, like Chasing's fish tank, where clown.
Honey Badger, we can see you, lovely.
You were talking about oppositional.
Yeah, the oppositional defiance is a strange thing, but I want to jump over here really quick to Carl. He says 3 cover-ups at TM. Sedatives and the Utah trip protected Andy B. Summer overdosing on meth and being taken to Hunter's mom instead, and not the hospital, as per True, protected who? And Summer Wells vanishing. 3 cover-ups.
Carl, was it meth? I remember. Okay, so and for anybody that's confused, it was said by, he's not wrong. It was stated that Summer had OD'd and that Allie was the fixer. This had been said. She had gotten into something. What was that substance? I don't remember it being meth. I could be completely forgetting it.
I heard the way I always heard the story was it was meth.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even remember. So I don't know, man. Like, it's so why is it also that we're seeing everybody ignoring the difference in, and even down to the very man who interviewed him first. If you missed it last night, please check it out. But first, go watch Benny and I, because we covered everything that needed to be covered. Sir Chris McDonough forgot everything that happened in his interview, straight down to
everything in the whole case.
Everything. He has completely let everything just slide right out of his memory. His recollection of everything Hunter has said, he can't remember the time. It's just skating right by. Why is no one comparing Hunter's statements in the first months to his statements current?
They're scared.
That's what I want to know. Why are we the only ones doing that?
Because Hunter's a gang member.
Oh, and
they're scared.
Why is it acceptable also that, there's so much. Why is it acceptable that he's a gang member? Why is it acceptable that he even said it was fine that Andy Bernard was a drug dealer? He's like, yeah, no big deal. Josh sat there last night saying he doesn't know anything about Hunter robbing the pregnant woman for vapes. He wasn't around back then. That's why he wasn't covering Summer's case back then. So he would have no recollection of it. He said he doesn't care about that. He said, that doesn't matter. I don't care about that.
It kind of matters when you're building the profile in the toolbox of what offenders are capable of doing, what they would do, and what they have already done, right? Mm-hmm. All of those things, he's an idiot. Anyways.
There's just so much. It's like, it's a mixed bag of all things that do not make sense. And it's coming from the very creators that have been covering Summer's case and say they're here for her. And they say that they support Summer and that they put her first. But I see that's very, very severely lacking. You've got Chasing, who doesn't give a fuck to even check on anything. And the last 2 people outside of Candace Wells and Candace Harrer, let me put it this way. At 2:30, as far as we know, now it's changed to 3:30. Also, the hour difference wasn't a big deal to them either. An hour is a big difference. That's a big deal. Why is it that Summer left that house, as far as we know, at either 2:30 or 3:30 now, on June 15th, never to be seen again? She left there never to be seen again. And you're lining those people's pockets. If I was dead, I'd be rolling in my grave.
Now, this is the thing. You're right. I would be
Fuck my life.
independent. He said that's the story he told the police. What he said yesterday is the story he said he told the police. So the issue is that it's sort of like you've got 3 statements now. It's the way you can kind of look at it. You've got this story you heard yesterday is going to sort of Tarantino itself into what he told the police. So you've got 2 statements that are split down the middle with what he told CM, right? So it would go, the story that he told yesterday, he says, this is the story I told the police. This is the story I told them. So he's told that story before already once. Then the whole shenanigan was CM, but you didn't hear what he told the police. So if you're going to take the boy as not a derelict ass liar that I think he is, but you're going to take him as face value, then what he's done is he's lied to CM, or CM and them have scripted something that isn't actually what's happened, and that now you look at them even using Punter as and Allie as these sort of crisis actors, these on-scene, like people with no integrity that you could pay in views on YouTube to make them famous. That's all they want. Validation on YouTube, social media validation. Give them that, and fuck, man, they'll do whatever you want. And then a few spinoffs, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got the trademark on the Master interview, but then all these other little interviews, everybody feels like, even Dolly Vision, right? Seen him at the park with his homeboy and was about to walk up to him and offer him some money and some weed and shit to do an interview. So they all they all have financially gained in some way, even if it's one time somebody sent them however much for coming on or whatever it is. I guess shame on them if they didn't, monetize it for every time, their stuff came on the internet, but they all have been taken care of financially off the internet. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, but back to the statements. He said yesterday, this is the story. This is what I told him. Well, what he told Chris is not anything like what he said he's told the police. So now he's told yesterday's story twice. That's what you're to assume if he's not a derelict liar. You're to assume that he lied to Chris, or that Chris and him, they all scripted that to make it go that way. Because in just 2 years, we didn't see that boy yawn not one time. He must be taking his medicine or going to bed on time, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I digress.
Okay. Honey Badger just said, this is interesting. I'm making sure that I didn't read it wrong. So, and we'll be very careful when discussing Jody, because I don't want to misspeak on her and think she's going to think we're, coming back around to torture her. I'm not. It says that it was said.
Or quaking.
Quaking. It says that, where did it go? Hold on. Not chasing. Where did it go now? That Jody is in charge of the funds that are coming through. I did never hear that. Where was it said? And does anybody have a screenshot or proof?
Say that again.
Andrew said yesterday that Jody is in charge of accepting donations and food funds. Jody has never shared anybody's Cash App. I have never seen her share anybody's Cash App but her own. Never, ever has she told anybody to help anybody. I was shocked to see
they're running the play. They're running the play.
Is this true?
Why,
I don't know.
Why can't the Cash Apps? Why aren't the Cash Apps? She lives in a trailer, for fuck's sake, off the beaten path. Like, she lives further from the store than H&M live from the store now. Why is she involved in taking anything?
Well, I don't know if she is. Did Andrew say that to troll people? It is, because I did check, and it is absolutely Hunter's Cash App, because when you put in the Cash App tag, it goes directly to him. I'm not going to say she's in charge of it, but is Andrew trolling people or is he serious? Why would it be Jody that would be in charge of? I have no clue. I don't even think that's true. I think he's lying, but I don't know. And then I circle back around to, I wish I could show you her face while she was watching them interact together, like for all of you guys to see. It was, I don't think I've never seen her smile, truly, genuinely smile with happiness and love like she did with Hunter and Andrew. And it went on for quite a while. She was just with full admiration for both of them. So like, it leads me back to, was there a stronger relationship between them? I don't know. I mean, these are all things I could totally ask her, but I'm here now. This is what's going through my mind, and I don't know. Why would she be in charge of funds? I don't get it.
You know, it doesn't make any sense.
It's true. She offered Monday. Okay. So maybe she's trying to assist so that he's not left on his own to, okay. So it was an offer, or we need to know a little bit more about it, I guess, because then Andrew made the statement she is in charge. Anybody have the timestamp for it?
Panhandledrew. Jesus.
It says start her stream at 1:55. Honey Badger, which one is it? So that Benny can... Hey, Bridge. Sunshine Girl says, I can't see JSB getting involved with accepting donations for anyone. Me either. That's why I was like, what? Honey Badger says Monday. Start her stream at 1:55. Hold on. Let me check. And she's going to totally take this as an attack on her. I am not attacking you, Jody. Don't plan.
Or terrorizing or taunting or traumatically tantalizing. For fuck's sake.
Dramatically tantalizing. Jody Sarah Brown. Okay, so Monday stream at the 1:55 mark. Monday.
It's tantalizing. Let's see. It's completely tantalizing.
You know, and I will say this because while I'm
say it, girl. Shit.
I know that Don B has been a complete shit show, and I know that he's done things that are really offensive and scary toward people that, you know, are local. But I saw Jody do something the other day that I never see her do. And she's usually the first person to say, protect the kids. You know, she doesn't mess with kids. She doesn't dox people. She's not a malicious type like that. She pulled up Don B's kids on a news broadcast.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was shocked by her. I really was, because I don't understand that it's
okay for her though. It's all right.
I don't get this, but
yeah, it's okay.
All right. So Monday what was the date on Monday? It was the 8th. January 8th. Okay, so here it is, 1:55. No, she's playing. Are you sure?
All the costumes are falling away.
1:55 is the news broadcast of Don B's.
But city officials say they've had certified.
Yeah, that's not maybe it's an hour. Is she meaning an hour and 5 minutes?
Tactically tantalizing.
Benny, do you see what that timestamp is? Because I'm not looking.
Where yeah, babe? Let me see here. 1 minute 55.
I think it was an hour 55.
Or an hour 55.
All right, let me see something.
The stream before yesterday.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, there's a first time for everything. So I think it's an hour 55 because 1:55 she's playing the Don B's kids.
For a show.
Hold on.
And that she was not without oxygen for 8 days.
Lying through his gums.
Oh, she said she was not without oxygen for 8 minutes.
Oh my God, they've been lying.
She's very emotional about this.
Oh, they've been lying on her? These bastards. What are we to expect now? This is some bullshit. Lying through his gums.
I don't expect anybody to be able to hear this. Let me mute real quick and try to find the spot. Honey Badger, will you give me the proper timestamp? Maybe it's an hour and 5 or an hour 55. Which one? She's crying, man. Like, she's literally crying about Allie.
Wow.
Jody, you had a relationship.
She didn't even cry about her brother, did she?
She had a relationship with these people. Can you just be honest about it, please? Because all we've ever heard is that the only way they knew Allie was because she used to stop at Andy's work for, extracurricular things. There's never been any kind of like Hunter hanging out at her house. Hunter didn't know Damien, who Damien was. She didn't know. He didn't know. And she's over here more emotional than I've ever seen her over Allison.
Yeah, she's pretty emotional about all this. I
don't know what's going on, but it's weird. And, even to the point, Jody's aligning herself with the criminal network right now. So that doesn't make any sense to me either. All the things she stands against, she is involved with right now.
She said try hour 25 minutes.
Hour 25. Okay, hold on.
Or hour 30 minutes, somewhere right in there.
Oh. Okay. I'll mute while I do this so that I don't.
You ain't bothering me now. Yeah, I appointed some moderators. I'm going to start using this channel some too. And then here, we're going to go ahead and monetize it here before too long. So,
Benny, you absolutely should monetize your channel. You're a hard worker and you deserve to be monetized.
Oh, well, thank you.
You do a lot of hard work and you literally, and I want to say this also, last night I thought it was really interesting that Josh at the lab went over everything on the stream with Andrew and Hunter. He was extremely petty when it came to Benny. And at any time that Andrew, oh yeah.
Oh man.
It was pretty pathetic, actually. To the point that Josh fast forwarded over any time your name was mentioned, and he actually missed a whole bunch of important stuff.
Of course he did.
He was too worried about anybody hearing your name brought up. And I'm going to tell you why he did that. Because Josh knows the reason that interview happened, right, between Hunter and Andrew is because Benny lit that fire, right? He will not discuss at all how this came to be. It's been going on for a month.
It's like it just developed.
It's been going on for a month, and there's more to the story.
And we've been cultivating this thing. A whole bunch of us been cultivating this.
A whole community over here has been actually working on this.
Hell yes.
And it started on the stream. If you go over to my channel, even before that, it started when Mama Bear came out and told everyone that Allison needed her daughter, Mama Bear's daughter, and it can't be lost on anyone that this is how this came to be. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Josh doesn't know because he doesn't know much. I can't even believe the things he doesn't know about Summer. I can't believe he even covers her. So I don't want it to be lost on anybody that Mama Bear is the one that really kicked this off when she brought her daughter forward and told everyone that Allie set her up because she didn't trust her son. And that's why she needed her daughter to pry out of him the information that he knew about what happened to Summer. This is how this all came to be. So Josh, you know, he's too good for Benny or me or anybody, right? He's just better than everybody.
He's the big leagues.
Fast forwarding and skipping over important matters because Benny's name was mentioned. That whole stream, Andrew was in and out of yelling at Benny. He's yelling at Benny because Benny was asking questions and has been asking questions. And he's done a lot of hard work in these last couple weeks. He's spent a lot of time listening to things, paying attention for Summer. Do you know how much work he's done to find out what is actually all going on here? And that is the chain reaction. There's a cause and an effect. All right. Josh didn't want to let anybody hear Benny's name. It was all about Benny. And every time Benny's name was mentioned, Chris McDonough could not sit still. He was crawling out of his skin. Okay? Chris McDonough's narrative is completely torn to shreds right now.
Yeah, it's disintegrated on him.
And what he tried to do also, I would not normally tell people to go watch Josh because I think he's a dirtbag, but people really need to see this. They really need to go watch what the hell happened over there because it's wild.
It is. And I've not watched it. I've only heard your interpretation of it, and it sounds to be right on par. Like it's those sort of inadequacies that shouldn't shine through, but they do, right? Like skipping over and some of these other things you've heard, like McDonough not being able to sit still when they talk about me.
Mm-hmm.
These things are strange.
Well, what he did was, Benny, what Chris did was, when Hunter said that the boys went with Dawn to work. So this is how it went. Chris immediately said that the boys were with Candace. He changed it. I don't think Chris thought that it was going to come up again, but he wanted to brainwash the masses, in my opinion. I watched this. It was very clear to see what was going on. He wanted to erase immediately from anybody's mind that it was said that Dawn had the boys at work. He
Correct.
wanted people to believe that Candace had the boys with her.
Right.
Josh replied and said, yes. So he's the yes man telling Chris, yeah, the boys went with Candace, right?
Where they hide them at in the pictures and stuff.
Huh?
Where would they have hid them at in the pictures and the milk jug video? And
Right.
yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It was just a quick, you almost didn't notice it, right? If you hadn't have watched, and Josh has such a huge responsibility with 2.8 thousand people watching to allow Chris to erase what was just said by Hunter, because Chris will not allow Don to have 3 alibis, meaning his sons, right?
Right.
No, can't have that. It's like he sat there not knowing what was said. He said Josh called him. He jumped up there last minute, couldn't miss it for the world, blah, blah, blah.
Buddy.
But he wanted to keep reiterating that the boys were with Candace that day, with Candace, because if he allowed people to hear what Hunter actually said about the boys being with Don, that would mean Chris's narrative for the last 2 years is shit.
Yeah, it fell apart last night.
Fell all the way apart.
Yep. Last night was the end of it.
That's how dirty and sneaky and slimy Chris is, that he would try to make people believe immediately after it was said that the boys were with Don by Hunter, changes it to Candace. So no mention of Summer, though.
No
mention at all of Summer. And it's really interesting, and I would really love to talk more about it, but I don't want to take up this whole time about it. There's a lot that's going on, and I wonder if people choose not to pay attention, or if they are paying attention, but they just want to fit into some kind of mold. I would never want to fit in anywhere around here. I would want to just make sure that the truth was out there in plain sight for Summer's sake.
Yep.
That's all. No matter what happened, the truth matters. It's not about what I wish would be the case or who I wish would be guilty. The truth matters. These people want Don locked up no matter what it takes or what it's about. Okay? Which could also adversely affect Summer, right? So say they were to badger Don to the point that he snaps, because that's what they have been doing all along. They're trying to get a reaction out of him, forever trying to get a horrible reaction out of him so that they can jam him up. What if Don actually did end up snapping and something goes wrong and he ends up not able to advocate for his daughter? What happens when he may be the one that could put the links together and figure something out, but they jammed him up and stuck him somewhere in a bad situation over and over? The antagonizing, it's going to create this effect.
It's creating something for sure.
Summer needs all of the support she can get, even if you don't like her dad. Chris, Josh, it doesn't matter. That's her father. That's her mother. Those people matter.
Yes, they do.
And if you're fucking with them, how are they going to actually be able to be the piece, right, that matters? If there is, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they won't be.
If they jam him up like that and something does go wrong,
you're changing the natural course of it, right? You don't want to change the natural course of it.
Perfect. That's the best way to sum it up, Ben.
It's got to go its natural course.
Yes. The interference is hurting her.
Yes.
And they have no problem with it.
No.
Nope. Funding, suspects and paying their way, and nobody gives a shit
At all. No, they'll promote it. And again, I'm back to it. I know I've been sort of like a broken record, but the oppositional defiance, I don't know why it's seemingly so strong to me now, but I can see it in so many different creators. It's just an oppositional defiance. They're not going to further the information that really needs to be furthered if it has somebody else's name in it, or if it's this or it's that. I mean, it's the strangest thing, and people accept that for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, so 2.8 thousand people walk away from hearing Andrew, and probably may even some of them walk away with a pro Hilts stance now, right? Because they didn't get fed the entirety of the whole of the sum of all the parts, right? You've got a whole bunch of things shaking, and because Josh is gonna cherry pick through it because he doesn't want to promote this or promote that.
Only brought up like 3 points, Benny. You know what I swear? I said last night while we were all talking, I said I was actually looking forward I
He
don't
must
know
see
what it
something
is.
in him. I'm sorry. He must see something in him that reminds him of Michael Crow. That's the only thing I can.
Maybe I'm not sure what his situation is with this, but it is strange. Why is he so infatuated with Don?
I don't know. He is infatuated.
Minded, and only Don. He can only see Don. He cannot see any other opportunity other than Don. It's got to be Don.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And he's made the commentary over and over and over the course that he can't leave the hill. Well, you know, respectfully enough, but what else has to transpire before you would even dare look somewhere else, right? That I think is an important. I think I may have, when I set my phone down, I may have actually muted it for a second. I apologize for that, folks. I think it was probably out a couple of minutes. We were discussing. Let me recap really quick. She was discussing for that minute and a half or 2 minutes, discussing how Chris and Don are trying to, or Chris and Josh are trying to, jam Don up for something, and how that may actually disrupt the natural course of the way this thing needs to play out under its own power, right? It doesn't need to be altered. It's going its course. No one needs to jump in and alter it, right? And so Tiffany was expressing that with what's happening with a lot of this stuff, what if they do make Don snap? Because in her opinion, and in my opinion as well, they're doing things almost on a schedule. Would you agree with that, Tiffany? It's almost on a schedule because they know when he's going to call in. Like they know what to talk about on what day. They know he's going to call in Friday nights after 10.
So it was said last night. These three things were said. It was said that by Chris that, well, Don will be calling soon. This is what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the next opportunity for Don to call them and get upset. They're waiting for the next opportunity to jump on it, right? So he says, Don's going to be calling soon. And Josh was like, no, he doesn't usually call unless it's a Friday night after 10 or a Saturday night after 10. I can't remember his exact words. And then Chris says, oh, no, I think you're going to be hearing from him much sooner than that. So you've got him waiting for Don to call. And then Josh is like, oh, I have a missed call on my Google number, but I'm not going to look at it. And I don't know if it's him or not. So it leaves it up in the air that he's,
right. Like he may have called. Right. Yeah.
To make people think that Don is already called. That Don's going to call them at all, but that's just me. I don't know why Josh is so obsessed with Don calling him. It's to record him and put it out so he has something for his show. But then Chris said something very interesting. He said, oh, wait, it's going to be, they're going to blame us for all of this. No, Chris, I don't think anybody's going to blame you or Josh for anything, because none of this had anything to do with either of you. It actually had to do with I'm that bitch Mama Bear's daughter being set up to get more information out of Hunter because Allison.
Right. It's that part's not going to change. You keep, every time you tell the whole story, you go right back to that.
The beginning.
Right. That's the beginning.
That's why I keep reiterating it, because it's important that the subscribers and the people in these chats, you guys run shit. It's not us. It's the people as a whole that bring the facts forward and correct things when the creators get it wrong, whether it be myself or Benny or Chris or Josh, right? So thankfully there were people in that chat last night who actually had listened already and knew the facts and were correcting things, because I'll tell you, it was supposed to be their live stream. But Chris was like very excited for Don to blame them, that he thought he had a golden goose egg last night of sorts. It was weird.
Yeah. That's how I understand it. 2:08 is the timestamp here. Let's listen to this really quick.
Is there someone around him that can pick that up for him? and I'm close on the Drew.
Thank you for that, Sunshine.
Didn't think about that, but yeah, I'd definitely keep the line open for him. Hilts. He's gonna need you, and he's gonna need all the support he can get.
Yeah. He's got a whole gang behind him, for fuck's sake. What do you mean?
No, Summer needs somebody.
That's
and
right.
All the help.
Since I'm on the ground here, Andrew,
right here,
and I'm close, if there's anybody around H that
close, she's grifty. Fuck it, man. She fits the description, baby. Bolo.
And because there were a couple asking me before we found a link for Hunter and your thing, and it swapped over from yours to his.
Why is not one person also? Why don't they say, hey, here's some cash apps, but also here's some resources too? They refuse to put resources in there. They absolutely fucking refuse to put a food bank in there on top of the cash app. I find that shit so fucking strange, Tiffany. It's like, hold on. You mean to tell me
they want money, Benny? They don't want resources.
No, I'm saying like why won't Tracing Truth? Why won't she put up the cash app, but also put up some resources for him to get too?
That's the
why not?
That's the $1 million question.
That's the $1 million question right there.
Benefiting from something? I
Dumbass.
the fuck out of Tracy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, is she benefiting from this financially? I'm asking.
Well, with clout, I mean, you know how it works. You could do something like that, and then they get all confused and crossed up. And next time you go live, they sending you money here. Oh, that was such a nice thing you did for Andrew. Let me cash app you, or let me super sticker you, or super chat you, all that shit.
The accolades.
The accolades. That's what they want.
And not even just that, but a connection to Hunter. Right?
The connection,
So,
that's one of the low key benefits. Like when you share it, like you say, you opening up that line of communication. That's what they want. That's what she wants. She just said it. I'll leave a line open for him. Listen to this shit.
We found a link for Hunter and your. If there's anybody around H that, and because there were a couple asking me before we found a link for Hunter and your thing, and it swapped over from yours to his. If they want
his thing as Cash App, because before, when it first started, Panhandle Drew was sharing his, and then I stepped up. I was like, man, why the fuck ain't you just sharing it? Why's it got to go to Pan Drew first? Why does Panhandle Drew got to handle the money before it goes to his son? And then they just started flopping it straight from wherever right to Bam Bam.
Send Jessica, do they want to purchase something physically, like from the store?
I guess I already passed it, but she said it's a line open. She's going to keep a line open for H. So now with this help, with this strange enabling, she's trying to ensure she's buying her way into the whole dealership of H. Right now, you think you own a little piece of it. You own some stock in that. Right? That's the word I'm looking for. You own some stock in that now, right? You can get the insider info, for fuck's sake.
Or do Instacart or something like that. Is there someone around him that can pick that up for him, or could I pick it up, take it to him? I'll stay on camera the whole time.
You don't even have a license. What'd you say?
I was saying, could you pause it real quick? I was
Yes.
just going to say, so I will say this, just to be fair, as a mom or as a dad or anybody, right? It is kind to offer, hey, I'm in the area if he needs anything. I have no problem with that. It's kind. And it's the right human thing to do. If you know that there's, some teenagers out there without a parent around and there's a bad situation, it is the kind thing to do. And it's the right thing to do to say, hey, I'm in the area. And if you need anything at all, a trip to the grocery store, things like I have no problem with that. Right. But I just wanted to say that so that it's not said later, I was just offering and I felt it was the right thing to do type of deal. We have no problem with that. I want to make sure that people understand someone offering help in the area is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's not what Benny is saying here, though. It goes much deeper. The psychology behind what he's explaining here is not that. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that way they can make sure everything is delivered. There's no doubts. They can't cast doubt on any of you all or Hunter or say you all.
She's already talking about a way to verify it without even the scam getting scammed. You hear her?
No doubts. They can't cast doubt on any of you all or Hunter.
She's talking about doubt being casted with the orders or the handling of the funds. Already talking about it. Why would you have to preface all of it with the sort of like Brad 423 Chase sort of disclaimer? You just really fucked up in my, like, that's kind of for me, like, you're like, no, give it to me. I swear everything will be just fine. Looking ass. Like, why you got to tell, why we starting off with you trying to reassure me everything's going to go just fine? Like, I had no doubts until you said that.
Or say you all are scamming or conning, anything like that.
Oh my God. So she does. She wants to be the mediator. She wants to be the referee. That's what she wants to be. You're going to put a scammer as the fucking treasurer to the link between H eating or not. This woman shits in a bucket, folks. Nothing's changed if nothing's changed. Shit.
Or if they want to order him a hot meal, something. And True and everybody, they're in a hospital room. Somebody pick that up.
Hey, well, what is this? This is the what was the thing they used to have at the church? Choo-choo?
What?
Flirting with Scotty. Carl, what was the thing they used to have? Where was it? Was the pot flock or whatever? The flop pock?
The flock box.
Yeah. Yeah, Jody's running the fucking, she's running the flock box right now. She's running it.
That was the book that Don was talking about. Maybe the
Flock Luck. Flock Luck.
Yeah.
It's a flock luck.
Flock of seagulls.
They say if you feed seagulls Alka-Seltzer, there'll be no more seagulls. There'll be no more problem. Flock luck, meet the flockers. Flock box.
But I'm going to put
She jumped right in front of it. She sure did.
I'll put that in here for just a second.
Dana Keiko, what's up, baby?
Hilts, so grab it. And you can email me.
So yeah, you can email. Oh,
I'll check. And you can email me. I'll check.
flocking pockets. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't want to go too deep into the Jody Stu stuff because Miss Tiffany Marie already has, she's already got a direction, and I don't want to alter the natural course of all of that.
Have a direction, like I don't particularly have my intention isn't to sit around and talk about Jody. I wish she'd clear up what the hell is going on here, and that's all. Because I know, and she can't tell me any different, the emotions coming out of her. Let's keep it real. Jody is hardened by life. She has a very rough exterior. She does not get emotional like this. I've seen her get emotional over several things. I'm not going to say what they are. I've seen her get emotional about several things. So this is a big deal to me to watch. That's why I say this, because it's not every day, number one, that you see Jody reach out a helping hand to another with, in way of a Cash App being posted up. I was shocked to see that. Not because she was sharing someone's cash app. It was because it is very much not like her. Then the facial expression, that's not what she says in the live stream she did last night. It's her facial expressions. They tell a story all their own. For a while, it went on for a while. You can see there is more here with Hunter and Allie. I believe now, after watching the reaction, that there was more. I never believed at all that Jody had anything to do with the Mulaney family, or, you know, like maybe in passing or whatever, or knew each other from around. But this emotion is something she only shows when it comes to things that are close to her heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just, it's basically, I'm questioning some things. That's all. And I'm wondering what's happening here, you know? And it's also to the point, don't forget, she's aligning with the very people that she's always been against, that we all know who they are. It's a strange circumstance. And I just would like to know if she maybe does have, and if she does know Allie and she is friendly with her, or she does have some kind of relationship as the mom who lived across the street. Maybe Hunter had dinner there one night or something, or a couple nights a week. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's something more here. And what is that? I'm not going to judge her if she's close to that family at all. I have nothing to say about that. I do, however, want to know, if that's the case, why all this time did you act like there was no relationship with their family?
Right. And that you know, you didn't know way ahead of time that, you know, that even Allie thought Hunter knew more, and that they enlisted, so to covertly enlisted, again, you know, to circle back to what I agree with Tiffany Marie's assessment, is that sort of the sprout of all of this that's been cultivated is the business that Allie got involved with Dumpling and Mama Bear and them, trying to, you know, I guess essentially trick Punter into telling more, or telling what he knows. So there's that. Well, I don't want to go too far because it'll end up just happening, and I want to.
Don't go too far. We're having such a great conversation.
Okay. All right.
I'm kidding.
Let me see. Hold on. I am interested to see a little bit more of how she sort of tapers this turd salad of being the referee of the money, the sort of ad litem. She just is insatiable. She, you know, it's like she finds a crease in the market and she wants to be the first one on it. This is, I'm guessing, I don't know, but please, anyone, Tiffany or anyone else, correct me if I'm wrong. This is probably the same gung-ho she was when the scamathon started, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think that that's also important to note as you traverse through, all, you know, the battlefield, is that you know, you're trying to, when you're here, you're picking up on what body language you can see. And so it is advantageous for them to turn their camera on so that you can sort of pick up on nuances. You're looking for the high points, the low points, and then you're looking for the in-betweens, but you're also looking for when they lie. So you can look at the way, what they said when it's verified. And we know what some of these are. One of these would be, you know, the whole "I never said sedatives" thing. You can actually look at what she looks like while she's lying to you. And with the fair certainty, once you've done this long enough, you can look at what you've seen and say, okay, I know what she looks like here when she lies. She's looking like this. You go back to look at it, actually, if you have to recreate it every time for yourself. Go back to where you know she lies to the very point and look at her while she's doing it. And then go back to other questionable shit. That's what a lot of this is for. It's to build a repertoire. Otherwise, you're here either in the way. Well, not either. You're just probably in the way.
Now that's in a beautiful world where the business that happens here is even worth a damn, right? It gets saturated by all what I think. Again, I'm gonna plug this again. It's that oppositional defiance stance, that defiant stance, right? It's those people that it doesn't matter how wrong it looks or how it does, not even how wrong it actually is, because it could be covertly wrong and like the scamathon, and no, they just don't care. So there's definitely levels and layers to it, but this oppositional defiance, man, it's a real issue, especially when you hook it to being defiant and then you add money to it. Man, what you telling people is to go ahead and pay for your defiance. People that support you and that are weaker, their inhibitions, when they're not inhibited, man, come on now. You what you're telling people is go ahead, because I'm defiant as for instance, tracing truth. Me as tracing truth, I want you. I'm telling you by sharing this. You know what this part of the fucking page is about. I'm sharing shit that I'm either disagreeing with or agreeing with. And you're not telling people not to send money, so they start to send this money because of your defiance. That's the derivative of the marketplace. The derivative of this marketplace generally at this point now is just running on the fumes of opposition, an oppositional defiant stance or oppositional defiance disorder. It's a crazy thing. All someone has to do is sort of, again, I spoke about this a little bit earlier, is sort of lock or appoint something or someone in their life as an authority, and then bam, watch out, resentments will come. And when someone with, and I've been doing some reading, once someone with oppositional defiance disorder has created a resentment with you, oh man, they're like a parrot. They'll remember for 300 years. And
So call it, Benny, when it's an oppositional defiance in a large group on social media?
It's like a mob defiance.
Mob defiance.
It's an oppositional mob
because now
defiance.
you got to factor in all of the people that want to fit into that mold where, like,
well, it's a strong cocktail, but you've got defiance and validation, and the derivative or the mother place of validation is ego, right? So you've got ego, defiance, you've got all these things. It's a petroleum of doom. It fuels situations where, just like I said, we know it's a lot of weak-minded people that follow different larger creators, and with that, when they start sharing cash apps and people start hearing it's crises time, man, people are going to start sending. Well, man, shame on you for having these people pay for your defiance. That's sort of the takeaway. One of the takeaways of this is watch the large creators with their asking or inferring to their subscriber, their friends, their family online, sort of coax them into paying something because they're oppositionally defiant. Like, oh, well, fuck Tiffany. You guys share all you can, run the red up. Don't be able to go get the milk in the prescriptions and the butter and the eggs. All that shit is on the side because these people here are having a crisis when you can't adequately fund yourself and them. Like, you're looking at a lot of different dynamics as many people.
If we hadn't, it's almost like you'll never know, right? You'll never know how it would have gone had you not said anything. So if it weren't me and Benny to have spoken about this and brought attention to and questioned the things we did, who would it have been out of all of these people who are judging us for putting Summer above all of those people, because nobody matters like Summer does.
Keith Sweat and his platinum selling hit, Nobody, Baby.
Would it have been?
It would have been nobody. Nobody would have said shit.
I want to know if chasing would have been.
Nobody would have said shit.
Cash App. I really do. I want to know if Jody would still be sharing that Cash App. I would like to know. That Cash App's being shared all over. That boy just told everyone he's gang affiliated. You're paying a gang member. Okay. How does that make sense?
They don't care though. They're that oppositionally defiant. They don't care. I mean, that's part of the allure of it, right? Like, so I'm guessing people that would pay into that, because that's been made part of the sales pitch now, right? I mean, all of that was a sales pitch. So you hearing part of the sales pitch is a gang affiliation, right? People that'll lay down their life. We're not talking about fucking, you know what I'm saying, human rights aid. You know what I'm saying? That's not this. 35 cents of every dollar isn't going. It's not that. These same people, it takes those same type of personality people that could be tricked into, I don't know, like siphoning money to terrorists somewhere. Like straight up. Like they think it's funny. Go follow any of these in where they're at in Tennessee. It's not crazy far from Chicago. Go check out that same shit he's throwing up. Go check out what they're doing in fucking Chicago right now. You'll hear Mother's Day, 82 injured, wounded, shot. Right? That's what, you know what I'm saying? If you're here to put all the pieces together in sleuth, if you're going to dump money into somebody that's up here doing all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing that and that shit is actually, you taking it seriously, then you paying money to something that is going to funnel back to the gang. Was he going to go buy weed with the money you sent him? He's going to go buy his weed from somebody other than somebody in the gang? No. So he's going to go bless the fucking gang too. Are you idiots? And then where do you think any big major vice lord from Kingsport is going to get his plug from? If it was a real thing, Chicago. So then he goes right back to the head of the problem. Like, I'm not making this up. Like, shit, man. Every dollar counts. It just is what it is. But that oppositional defiance, it's a real motherfucker, man. They be real upset. They send a bunch of money to the wrong person and they get a hold to that money and they go try to flip the money or do some gang shit with that money and they get in trouble because they're just not equipped like that. Come on now. Do you think that he has any better understanding of finance than his father? Of course not. Of course not. I would have a tendency to agree with you, Carl. I would actually. Now, I don't know too much about. I'd have to do some more looking into the situation with the meth overdose. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know too much, and so to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even be much of probably wouldn't even offer an opinion about it, really, because I don't know enough about that true to listen to it and say, okay, yeah, she's lying. I don't,
Also,
you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I totally interrupted you. Apologize.
No, go ahead.
I get like an idea and I just blurted out. True also said, I think it's important to note this. Dana pulled the screenshot out last night. True said it was 2:00 that Hunter was dropped off. She said it was exactly 2:00. Okay?
Yes, I saw that in the comment from one of your gals. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that people know that True stayed on. Never changed that. 2:00.
So now it's grown. Now instead of now we get to this point. Not to cut you off, but now we at a point where it was always 2:30, and then when he changed it to 3:30, he was already in a discrepancy with his sister by 30 minutes. Now you add the 30 minutes discrepancy from before with the extra hour he gave himself, and now where you at? You're at an hour and a half. That's outside of the range of acceptable, you know, like when I say acceptable, like watch any of these detective, like documentaries, real life show, you get out in that 90-minute range where you're like, I don't know where I was for 90 minutes. So like, okay. Yeah. then you're going to come back and talk to us over and over and over and over until we figure out where you were at. Right? Because now all of a sudden you got 90 minutes discrepancy. What happened in True's world that she knows he was dropped back off at 2? And she stuck to it. She stuck to it even though for all this time he's been public saying 2:30. So at that point in time, there was 30 minutes that they were okay with having a discrepancy about because it suited him to be at 2:30 when something reminds her that it's at 2 p.m. And they're even willing, they won't even get on the same page about it, right? Follow me, right? They won't get on the same page about it. It's already a discrepancy. Now add to this extra hour. He wasn't comfortable, clearly. Either he's lied before and doesn't remember what he said, or what's developing in his mind, he can't do it all in 30 minutes no more. He needs an extra hour and a half. Why would he be buying himself time? That's where you get straight to sort of one of the, what's the seed? Why does he need to buy time? And you made a really good point earlier. He talked about, oh, well, I was just a dumbass kid.
Thank you. Oh, Benny, yes, please talk about this. Where is that part? Hold on a sec.
Yeah, let's if we can find that sound bit, and then we can close on that, because that's a good place to leave this with everybody. Is I was just a dumbass kid.
I bet you it's right where I left off on it, and I wonder if on YouTube it's still stuck there. So give me 1 sec. I'll try to find. Yeah, go ahead. Speak up.
So in the chat, tell me if the best thing you ever did, you did it while you were a dumbass kid. If you say yes, like a mind reader, I already know what it is. It's going to be a kid. Because you're going to think, right? And this isn't to offend you. This is not to offend you. But when someone says, I was just a dumbass kid back then, does that suggest to you that there's some ownership in the culpability of something having had happened that they have associated themselves to? I was just a dumbass kid.
And he was speaking in terms of summer. So
in terms
I'm
of summer.
looking for the part now. It was in reference to summer, and that's what's concerning, because what do you mean you were a dumbass kid? Like, what happened? Did something happen? Something was faulted.
Yep.
If you were just in my younger days, that I
crashed a Chevelle into a mailbox and then hit the side of a house. I was just a dumbass kid.
Right.
I got caught drinking and driving, and we got the 4-wheel drive stuck. I was just a dumbass kid. I was shooting birds off of grandma's bird feeder. I was just a dumbass kid. Never. I figured out how to turn urine into water to run a generator to keep the lights on in an African. It's never. You did never do no smart shit when you was a dumbass kid. He said that, and when she brought it up, she paused it, and I was like, damn. When he was just a dumbass kid. Now you're gonna put the thought process to it right now. Let's all keep it real with ourselves. Much stronger intellect than anything that boy is used to over here, just right now kicking the can around, right? Much, much, much stronger intellect. So what we could be looking at is just a vernacular, a dispute in vernaculars, vanatics. I just made that up. Vernaculars. Right? Just I say it one way here, he says it that way, or interprets it and says it one way there. But man, you're just a dumbass kid. Right? Separates himself from any responsibility and accountability. And that's another good point, right? When you're just a kid, well, if now you're grown, theoretically, in a dumbass's mind, you would definitely want to be charged as a minor. Let's keep that real all the way. You definitely don't want to find yourself falling into being charged as no adult. Now, I'm not here. If you wanted to speculate, like Crystal Crime Time, one could speculate that one of the dynamics of even bringing a prosecution and the delay is that they'd wish to charge someone as an adult. And that, well, fuck it, we're just going to wait until he is an adult and charge him. But you've got all these, and I'm not saying at all that's what it is, but the police could do anything they want. If they got it sewed up, look, it's just like having a tracker on Don and Candace. As long as the internet is involved, they know where Don and Candace is at all times. All times. They know where they're all at. They're all going to come back to the feeding trough. Just the feeding trough right here. Just the trough right here. So,
Benny,
what?
I found it, and it was about what Summer was wearing. Hold on a sec.
Okay. Here, I can pull that up too. I'm sorry. What this is on Andrew's side, or where this at?
Okay, right
Let it
here,
grow up
it's
and man
at
up.
13. Yes, it's on the interview of Andrew and Hunter, and I can send it to you. Do you need me to?
Is it the still talking trash? No.
Summer Wells case with Hunter.
Gotcha.
Last night. It's the actual one where Hunter's up there, and it's at around, you could put it on 13 minutes just to make sure everyone can hear the whole context and whatnot.
Okay, got it right here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. No problem.
Yeah, Brain, you're a managing moderator. Can you turn that down? Can you slow it down a little bit?
Okay, so what it say?
People want to ask you some questions about your thoughts on Candace and whether or not what your thoughts are about the situation with the Summers case.
Okay, that's fine.
People are actually asking, do you remember what she was wearing the last time you seen her?
Hey, you got to think. I've been out of juvenile and stuff like that for my decisions. Nothing to do with someone else. I was a dumb little kid.
Right there. He was a dumb little kid. This was just over 2 years ago.
They asked what she was wearing. People in the chat, this is important.
Let's run it back. You catch it. Tell me when to pause when you want.
You got to think. I've been out of juvenile and stuff like that for my decisions. Nothing to do with someone else. I was a dumb little kid.
Now, could it be that he's just admitting to being a dumb kid and that's why he was in trouble outside of Summer?
It's just odd. So I noticed the placement of, okay, so the question was asked out of the chat. Do you remember what Summer was wearing? And for some reason, that question resulted in him thinking about I was just a dumb little kid. What about that comment and question to Hunter made him feel he was a dumb kid? Like, what is it about what Summer was wearing that, just my question in my head is, what is it about the question about what Summer was wearing that made Hunter feel dumbed down, right? Like he was just...
He felt challenged by it.
Yes. Did something happen with her outfit? Did something happen around the time she changed out of her clothes to the bathing suit to the clothes? It makes your mind kind of go there. What is it about the question of what she was wearing? It came out of left field, and Andrew brought him back. Like, no, they're asking you what she was wearing. Like, I think it even confused Andrew, where he's like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Why is he...
Let me look at this again. I guess I didn't really catch that.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
You gotta think I've been out of juvenile and stuff like that for my okay. So what it say?
People want to ask you some questions about your thoughts on Candace and whether or not what your thoughts are about the situation with the Summers case.
Okay, that's fine.
On a side note, I am tracking that Andrew might be doing some body scent checking. Just as a side note, keep an eye on it, everyone.
People are actually asking, do you remember what she was wearing the last time you saw her?
There it is. Do you know what she was wearing?
You gotta think I've been out of juvenile and stuff like that for my decisions, nothing to do with someone else.
He completely disregarded it, didn't he?
Yes, he did that a lot of times.
He disregarded the question completely and went right back to him being in juvenile.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Completely ignored it. Let's listen a little more.
I was a dumb little kid.
Dumb little kid.
That's why I grew up. I had to grow up and man up.
Yeah, but listen, they want to know if you remember what she was wearing.
He had play that back, Benny.
He brought him back. He had to bring him back on track. He's like, hold on. You just even Andrew he just said you ignored the question without saying you ignored it. He's like, okay, yeah, but they want to know. Listen.
Grow up and man up.
Yeah, but listen, they want to know if you
like, yeah, all that's cool, but listen, they want to know what was she wearing.
That a little bit even further than that, Benny, because there's even something right before Andrew says, I lost it, whatever it was he just said. Will you play that back one more time?
Yes.
Nothing to do with someone else. I was a dumb.
Do you remember what she was wearing the last time you saw her?
You gotta think I've been out of juvenile and stuff like that for my decisions, nothing to do with someone else. I was a dumb little kid. That's why I grew up. I had to grow up and man up.
Yeah, but listen, they want to know if you remember what.
That's why I grew up. I had to man up. I had to grow up and man up. So when he was asked what Summer was wearing, we have a plethora here, and that's the subconscious, I believe, in Hunter, where something about him being asked about her outfit brought him back to he was a dumb little kid in juvie. He ends up in juvie, and that he had to man up and grow up. What made him say that over the question he was asked? I believe he did hear the question, but his subconscious kicked in it. He didn't answer with what she was wearing. He was speaking his thoughts out loud. So even before Andrew brings him back to what he had originally asked from the chat, Hunter even goes further to say he had to man up and grow up. Why?
What was the catalyst to make him grow up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
She was wearing.
I grew up and man little kids.
Also.
That's why I grew up. I had to grow up and man up.
Yeah.
But look at him. He almost wants to start doing that yawn and shit. He's rubbing his eye. It's a senseless movement to be rubbing his eye. Like, it's senseless. Why is he rubbing his eye? It's just to occupy his hand. Well, why does he feel uncomfortable right now? Again, the question is that he's avoided and now rubbing his eye. All these
that's why I grew up. I had to grow up and man up.
Yeah, but listen, they want to know if you remember what she was wearing.
Those are all senseless movements.
The last time you saw
her. You gotta think I've been out of juvenile and stuff like that for my decisions, nothing to do with someone else. I was a dumb little kid.
In the snatchback.
That's why I grew up.
That's why you grew up.
I had to grow up and man up.
Yeah.
You had to grow up and man up because of Summer Wells. He's rubbing his eyes senselessly.
Yeah, but listen, they want to know if you remember what she was wearing.
I have no idea. I can't remember to the
Ellie, did the cops ever
Can't remember. All that avoiding to say he don't remember. Ooh.
give you back your phone?
They were supposed to.
They were supposed to. Now, this is interesting, and we will quit on this note. This has been a good conversation, actually. Holy shit. You're gonna get back. He is the only person you know of. Listen to me, folks. He is the only person you know of that did not get his cellular fucking device back. He's the only one. There isn't another person involved with this case who handed over a cellular device that did not get it back. He did not get it back, and he's going to tell you with his own words, his own mouth. He's going to tell you he didn't get his device back. In fact, it was so long, he just went and got another one, right? Listen, Strong.
And then I just got a new one because they were supposed to.
Ellie, did the cops ever give you back your phone?
They were supposed to, and then I just got a new one because there was no point.
What's going on, everybody?
Just got a new one. There just wasn't any point. It is old, right? Yes, 2721. You're exactly right, Ms. Riding Hood. You're right. It's a new replacement. He's got to do something. He's got to exert. We covered that in the psychopathy. I'm not saying there's just body movement things, right? When you're feeling anxiety, you're going to do different things to discharge that anxiety, to top it off, to get it back down to where you're comfortable, right? Now that's riding the conversation like a roller coaster. Things in this roller coaster is going to make him more anxious than other things, right? Very good call. It does seem what? Yes, ma'am.
I thought you were done. You were about done.
Yeah.
I wanted to just add, please, everybody, also take into consideration, to piggyback off of what Benny just said about this phone. Hunter said something very important about using his phone when making drug deals. He said he knew better than to use his phone for anything drug related, for his, gang affiliation and such. This boy said he's been hanging out with a lot of old heads, right? Don't ever forget that Hunter said that. Now, either he learned sorts with that phone, right? Because suddenly he doesn't do anything with the phone, right? So if he was to commit a crime, Hunter knows to leave that phone behind.
Yeah.
He knows not to shut it off. He knows to leave it right there on the nightstand. He knows all the things, right? Hunter's a smart kid. But why, if the TBI never gave his cellular device back, there's something there, right? Okay.
I would agree. I mean, everyone else got their phones back.
Yeah. Why suddenly is he saying, and you're giving, don't forget, you're giving this boy money. He says he knows better than to use his phone when he's making drug deals. You are paying a boy that is either selling them or using them. I don't know which. Not my business. But he's telling everybody he's smart enough to evade that situation altogether by not using the phone. Okay. That's very important because his phone was not returned. And Benny's absolutely right. There's a reason for that. And it's not because he didn't go pick it up or he didn't care about it. He did not receive his phone back.
Did not receive his telephone back, people.
Use it for illegal dealings. He knows not to use it.
He did not receive his phone back, folks.
That's all I wanted to Hey, Benny, sorry.
Yes. No, that's fine. I think that's a good place to stop right there. In fact, let me run this back one more time for you to hear it.
Did the cops ever give you back your phone?
They were supposed to.
They were supposed to. Imagine trying to be judged by someone that says supposed to. So, yeah, there you go. No, he did not get his phone back. He just went ahead and milked it over by saying he went and bought another one. Anyways, I think that at some point in the near future, you'll be able to check out probably a further commentary on this and subjects just like this coming soon to a theater near TM.
Near me. How about, no, me and Benny are going to stay on this path we're on.
Yeah, probably that's going to be what it's going to be too.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot. Even like I was just telling them too in the chat, Benny, how I always say, like, I wish we could record the conversations that we have on the phone for hours going through all these things. Like, we really should start doing that when we're like just bouncing ideas off of each other for hours.
Oh yeah.
I think people really would enjoy that. And like, I also think people need to see and hear for themselves, because it's pretty sick to me that a lot of people they want to make us into like the bad guys or harass. I've seen some posts today. They actually make me laugh. You know how horrible we are, and we're attacking Hunter. And
We're worse than gang members.
Yeah, we're attacking Hunter, and to leave him alone. Nobody is doing anything to him.
We're just breaking down what he's saying right here. That's all we're doing.
This is for summer, and you know what? If people are out there picking apart us, asking questions on behalf of Summer, they're not here for her.
No, that's it.
Take it as the red flag waving in front of your face that person who's doing that is not keeping Summer in the forefront of their mind. Not at all.
And to add to that, in terms of the forefront, you keep Allie in your prayers. But the one thing I need you to really understand.
Summer first, please.
Yeah, please Summer first. But you got to understand in this situation, and this is really what I mean in total of this situation, Allie is our MVP. And let me tell you why. This would be sort of the closing monologue. Allie went so far as to set her son up. She knows the boy's gang related. He's telling the whole world he is. He's awkwardly holding these tattoos up. You can see on the screen now. He wants everyone to see what a bad boy he is. Right? She had every reason to believe he knew more. She enlisted Dumpling. She enlisted dumbasses like Mama Bear. Even Pandrew. But in fact, we know there's a parameter that Allie would wish to keep Punter from Pandrew and his online dealings. But she's incapacitated now, and what happened has happened now. You can't go back and unfuck this. You can't go back and unfuck this pregnant lady. Pardon my French. So what you have actually now is this solidifies. Check this out. Check this out, Carl. This solidifies. It almost makes right. Now, I didn't say it did. It almost makes right Allie setting Punter up, because he actually did tell us a bunch of stuff we didn't know that we now know. Even if it's one thing, but I think it's many things. It's not really for me to decipher what exactly he's telling the truth about or not. I can tell you there are some of these things he is telling the truth about. And these things that he's telling the truth about now are a different story than he told Chris M. Let's be very clear about this. Okay? So he's made his mom the MVP. Straight up. He's made his mother the MVP. She's almost made it right that she set him up to try to find out what he knew, because I think I agree with Allie. I think listen, What do criminals do when they're on the run? Finna go back to home, going home to mama's house. He's at mama's house, right? She knows when something's up with her baby. She knows even when he's lying and it's about the dumbest or the biggest thing, she knows. She knows exactly when her baby is fucking lying. And she knew. She knew, and she enlisted even the dumbest people on earth to help her get the answers. And now look, Andrew helps Allie get what she knew her son been lying about out of her son, except for it happens on the internet. Yikes. You're the MVP, Allie. Mama knows best. That's right. That's it. Isn't it right, Bridget? Think about it. You want to clip something, clip that shit. Anyways.
Benny,
yes, ma'am.
before you end it,
absolutely.
That was the perfect thing to end with because nobody wants to talk about that.
No, they don't.
Josh and Chris McDonough, they missed that point completely. That's where it starts. That's where the story starts with this situation. Is the extraction of information that Allie wanted from Mama Bear's daughter, from Hunter, to find out what he knew, because she knew he knew more about what happened to her.
And let's deduce it just a little bit further, right? This dude, Panhandle Drew, tried to get a legal extraction for his son to get out of there. Meanwhile, mom's fighting to keep him there. She knows he knows more. He's lying to the internet, or he's involved with some script with CM, whatever it was. I'm not going to get caught up in trying to prove that that was all a script. Whatever it was, it was. But what we know is what he says here is that what he told us that was all contradictory to anything you've ever heard before, he's going to tell you that's the story he told the police. So if you're to take what he's believing, what he's telling you, and believe it, and that he's not some derelict ass, you know what I'm saying, gang member, then what he's doing here is he's telling you the real story now. And the story you heard before that's contradictory to anything you'd ever heard is actually the second story, right? This is the first story. So you've got to be able to decipher, if, you know, if that's your flavor. If you want to try to track down what the hell Punter is actually talking about, good for you. Please do. And bring some sort of unequivocal proof with you. That I could be like, okay, yeah, I believe that. Hell yeah, shit yeah. I'm on deck with you. But right now, Allie's the MVP. So when you take that back, the lineage of all of it, this man was trying to legally extract his son from a situation that was what? Clearly not to his benefit to really go to Andrews or be in the situation in Kingsport he was in. So it was sort of a lose-lose. And you're really getting a sense of almost Andrew being the type of enabler that would help his son go on the run. Because not understanding all of the judicial parameters that the boy was facing at the time, I don't think he had been put on probation yet. So it's almost like Pandrew's trying to petition the court, and everyone's like, well, why won't the court at that time, if you remember, why won't the court let him go with his dad? Oh, God. Well, it's because that fool had pending cases with pending sentences happening. He's getting ready to go. He's getting ready to sentence that boy. And now this whole time from the attempted legal kidnapping, the attempted legal kidnapping till now, he's been in corrections, right? And he's going to be reviewed in order to get off what he's on now. When he turns an adult and goes to court, man, that's the reckoning. Is he going to continue on in this adult probation, or is he done? I don't know if he's going to, what do they call that? Certify. As a child offender, if you certify, that means you go over to adult court, right? And then whatever you got going on, now you're in an adult court realm. It's not the kiddie shit, right? If he certifies, then he's going to have a whole different problem.
I don't know his legal situation necessarily. I just know here in Texas, when you are in the juvenile legal system, and then you know what I'm saying, sort of your age out or continue on is at 18 or whenever, then yeah, if you certified and you go, that means boom, then you go on over to adult prison, or you go on over here. Like it changes dramatically. So I think that all of these things are not helpful for his plight to either certify or not, right? I mean, let's be honest with you. The bullshit he's telling, this is probably not helpful, and let me tell you why, folks. It's probably not helpful in regards to the court really wanting to see at the end of rehabilitation that you have what? Rehabilitated. Not that you still 2.5, almost 3 years later on the internet saying, I got set up. You're not showing any remorse. You're not showing that you've went through the rehabilitative process. You were either found guilty by a preponderance of the evidence, or you pled. I don't know what your scenario is, but I'm guessing they probably just had enough evidence and you just probably kept on pleading innocent, right? Just hardhead, knucklehead shit, right? So what you're looking for also, I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing the time, but I'll be through after this. What you're looking for also is him saying he was set up. The situation had to do with a car, I don't know, something in the car being taken, a woman fighting back with a child in the back. So boil the broth, and what you're looking at essentially is damn near, even if it was an involuntary kidnapping, like one of those things where you just take a car that's running outside the store and they don't realize until 5 miles down the road when the kid starts crying, there's a kid in the back. That doesn't mean because, well, I just meant to steal the car, I didn't mean to steal the kid too. So you're looking at someone that may potentially possess either the criminal dumbfoundedness that he could try to steal a car from a woman and not know there was a kid in there, or either know the kid was there and not give a shit. But what you have is an attempted kidnapping, damn near. Let's be very, very real about this. So I want to leave it there. TM, do you have anything to add? Comments, questions, concerns, burning desires, anything of the sorts?
No, I don't. I feel really good about what we've talked about, and appreciate that you called me. I didn't know you were even live.
Well, it was supposed to be something completely different, and then once you called, I was like, well, shoot, we'll just keep going for a bit. But it was initially supposed to be because I just assumed it was Andrew streaming Mama Bear after they just, I don't know. Would you say they've made up now? I mean, that's kind of what I've sort of led to believe, that they've almost sort of made up.
No, I don't. What I think personally, and this is only my
that they probably never split
opinion on the matter. I'm not speaking for, I believe they have not parted ways at all.
Probably.
I believe that Mama Bear is fucking around. I think that Mama Bear, and I will say, I'm not even being biased. Her reaction to my comment in her live stream the other night, when I simply said, and this really kicked it off, going in there, that kicked off this portion, going into that, and then you going up on her live, going in there just to say simply, hey, let's think about this. You know, Hunter was one of the last people to see Summer. You know, she left that house and never was seen again. Never to be seen again. And Mama Bear called me a scammer immediately.
I know. Like, that's the go-to. That was the go-to.
That was immediate reaction, and I've seen this before, and that is what raised my eyebrow, because I've never scammed a single person. Never once. Not in my real life, not on YouTube, not on any social media platform, okay? For her to so quickly, and not only that, it was, how long are you going to scam people off of this baby, blah, 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 blah. You paid for Andy Bernard's wedding, and you fed Don and Candace's drug and alcohol habit for the last 2 years.
She's
and
crazy.
I was like, whoa. All I said was, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit and think about, like, I don't agree with handing money to anybody who was last to see Summer.
Mhm.
And I've always said that. That hasn't changed in the 2.5 years that I've been involved in covering Summer's case online. I've never, ever agreed. Not even when, listen, and I have never agreed with dropping even, I gave Benny hell for dropping Candace's Cash App years ago.
Yeah, you did.
I went ballistic. This has never changed. I have very strong feelings about it. But the reason being is it's for Summer, not knowing, right? So you've got all these different facets of.
And also, I want to peel back a layer just really quick, please. I don't want to interrupt, but I've lost it and just got it back right now. When you talk about what is the quality of witness or statement, in this case, where they say everything's on the table, everyone's a suspect, you have two types of suspects. Does anyone know the two types of suspects? It's a very rare breed too. You have the people that could be considered in the basket of suspects who have either passed a polygraph or never taken a polygraph. You have to remember these two dynamics, right? Now, in the prosecutorial realm, that doesn't mean anything. But in the investigative phase, quite naturally, it's a protocol they can use to sort of get them on track to where they need to be investigating at, right? So you can see also with this length of time after the polygraphs that the polygraphs seemingly do mean something, right? They are a signification of the fact that the machine says they're being honest. Clearly, the state and the county believe in the science because they fit the bill. They fit the bill for the polygraph examination. So in this scenario where everyone isn't just the three people that's taken and passed polygraphs. Who are the three people that have taken and passed polygraphs? The Wells and Hare. No one else has taken one that we even know of. So you've got those who are suspects who haven't taken them, those that have, and the ones that have taken them have all passed. What does that tell you? That's the question right there. That's the question. No, she didn't take one. In fact, I had talked to one of the best independent who does a lot of work for what was it? It was sex assault registry. He does a lot of the polygraphs for that stuff. So, and he was interested in the case, and I just wasn't going to play with JSB no more. You know, it was like $500 for one or $750 for two, something, you know. So I was going to pay, and she was in, and then she wasn't in, and then she was out. And by the time she was out, I was like, thanks, sir. I didn't care nothing about even being involved in that part of it anymore. So if you do remember back, there was a litigation of sorts between her and I about going to take the polygraph. And you know, I had lost interest in playing the game, not in knowing what she knew or didn't know. But also when I factored in the ideal that she has said on numerous occasions that she was told by law enforcement or the FBI to not take a polygraph, well, then I would be in direct violation if, you know what I'm saying? Or she would be in direct, actually she would be in direct. All I'd be doing is just paying it. She's the one that would be breaking the law. So if she broke, you know, if they told her not to do something and she went ahead and did it, I didn't want to be that level of helpful or unhelpful. That was also what played into my decision-making process with all of that. So that was it. Do you have anything else you want to add into it?
No, Benny, and I didn't mean to. Sorry.
Girl, you didn't do nothing.
didn't mean at all to. I just wanted to make sure that it's known that it's not because it's Hunter or it's Allie or anything.
It's
like
just the discrepancies in the positions.
all around.
That's it.
All around the board, right? Like it's
Yep.
it's so hard to, people can misunderstand however long they want to. They can judge and they can say, Tiffany and Benny, they're out there terrorizing and tormenting a trauma. Nobody is doing that. If traumatizing and tormenting and
well, I mean, if you're able to trick a portion of this community into not even coming over and watching, and then they think you're some sort of truth sayer to them, well, then they're not going to come see for themselves. They're just going to believe the bullshit that these people tell them to do. And if you're one of those people, they're in the right position. I don't want people that can't think for themselves around me. Like, challenge it, right? Question everything.
And you know what, Benny? I also think that there aren't many people, and I'm going to toot our own horns here for a second, and I have no problem doing that. I think that at this point, 2.5 years in, there are not many people that have the ability to get your wheels spinning and to help you think for yourself, right? There's not a lot of people left on this platform who are going to bring up, like, when we speak, we're speaking our own, like, thoughts, our own, everything that we can possibly think of that parallels or, speaking of, hold on, this is so much more important. Speaking of parallels, I have to say this.
Go ahead.
If you don't mind, because I didn't say it yesterday. I need to say this. There was something else that was very important. I didn't say this on my live. I chose not to, but I'm going to say it today. Never once has anything aligned with Fred's statement about Andy being in the back of Ben Hill, okay? Until Hunter opened his mouth several days ago and said that it was Andy Bernard. And I am not saying it was him. Please don't get me wrong. Hunter said that Andy was the one that was up on the hill.
Correct.
That
Touching
Don
kids.
allegedly called Candace and told was touching little kids.
Yep.
Now, Don denies that this happened, and I believe Candace does as well. So I don't know who out of the bunch is telling the truth or whatever. That doesn't matter to me at this very moment, but what does? Hunter placed Andy in Beach Creek, specifically on 110. Fred placed him at 3:30. 3:30 seems to be such an interesting time here. Fred placed Andy Bernard down by his house to let him by on the roadway at 3:30 p.m. Hunter put Andy on that hill that very day. That's a parallel. And nobody has ever spoken of Andy being on Ben Hill except Hunter. So we have, and it's important, you can never just push that away. You have to take it into consideration. It doesn't mean it's true. You just have to note it and don't forget it was said, just in case, right?
Yep.
He places Andy there, and Fred placed Andy there. That's
two.
very important.
Yeah.
No one else has ever done that except Fred Hill.
That's what they call a corroboration.
Yes.
Right? Where the facts corroborate each other. Now you've got two people who don't have a reason to even have the same information saying the same thing about the same person. Hooah. Bam. That's telling. So I think that there's probably something to be said about this version of events. And I hate, again, that this is one of the times where I wished more people saw what really is going on. Most of the times it's like, I don't care if there's 1 or 10 or 100 or 300, but this is one of those scenarios with the way that CM and Josh cut it last night and the way everyone else is cutting it. even if it's just not openly really having an opinion, maybe chatting about it or sharing the Cash App, like you part of the problem, actually a part of a problem that you don't have to have like government economists show you how this money goes to support a very bad fucking decision, right? Like it's in the stars, but then you go back to the oppositional defiant stance and, you know, other ego driven things that people just refuse to say that this is a bad idea. Let's find another way to help. I'm all for helping. I've already done, in terms of actual help, I've already shared Hawkins County, Tennessee, Kingsport food bank numbers on stream. I've already done it.
Benny,
I've not seen anyone else do it.
I believe
That's help.
they're utilizing those services already. I think that
Probably.
they already have every handout under the sun. I think that, and I'm going to say this, I have no problem saying it. I believe Allie, her whole entire existence and motherhood, has worked every crack and crevice
Of that public
nook
system.
and cranny of the public welfare system.
Had to.
I believe that is a way of life for that family, and they all know the ins and outs of things that people would probably never even know existed. Allie knows where all those things are available at. I believe that with all my heart. So
read that right there really quick. It says, TM, read my comments about On the Hill touching kids. It was Billy, what Hunter said in CM's interview initially, not Andy B. It's another change in the story.
You know, Carl, I was just reading your comment and I was responding to it and then I erased it because I got sidetracked. I don't remember Hunter saying Billy's name when it came to touching the kids on the hill. And I guess I have to go back and listen to it. Are you sure he said Billy's name? I don't recall that I don't recall that his name was said, and maybe it's just because I'm rusty. It's been so long, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm rusty too.
I will go back and check that, though. Does anyone in the chat remember if he said it was Billy? I know that Hunter's interview has been played over and over and over and over by creators. They play it kind of like on a weekly basis. I am not one of those people. I listened to the interview several times, but I did not.
Jody found a kid's shoe in Andy's car?
Say what?
Jody found a kid's shoe in Andy's car at some point? Is that true?
It was, yes. She also found jewelry. Yes, and it was Becca's. She said it was Becca's daughter's shoe, I believe. You know, that's important. That's important. Yeah. Who brought that up?
That was Helen.
Helen, good memory. Yes, she did. That is absolutely not a lie. That was back in the beginning. I believe she was still streaming on Facebook, and I don't think she had even come to YouTube yet. You have the memory of an elephant, Helen.
Wow.
Because I would have not remembered that. Yeah, I believe she found an earring and a child's shoe, but she identified that child's shoe as Becca's daughter's shoe, if I recall correctly. But how would you know it was Becca's daughter's shoe? That's concerning.
There's a couple of people that have said that said that they do actually remember him saying Billy.
Allie mentioned Billy in the first interview, but not touching kids. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doubting you, Carl. I just don't remember. I'm going to go back and check her.
No, I'm not doubting him either.
Find it and upload it or whatever, but it's all relevant. All of this is.
If he said it, it usually is spot on.
To go back through things.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I want to do that with Benny. I told him I'd love to spend I don't care how long it takes. I want to go back to the beginning. We need to go back through things and like literally just the facts. And by the facts, I mean everything that we have seen and heard and know to be a fact that has happened, that has been said here. All these things matter. And I think we also need to, and I'm going to start working on it today because I haven't seen anybody do it. I'm going to compare Hunter's interview the first time to this one. And we're going to have it all laid out perfectly as a presentation. It needs to be done.
Nice. Yep, that'll work. Yeah, we need to get on that for sure. Okay.
No, I appreciate this live, Benny. I think it was great. I'm glad he went live.
It was impromptu, and I guess the good ones are always the ones you never expected. Sometimes, and I genuinely thought that it was Andrew back at his semantics, and I was incorrect. And I'll be willing to say I've been incorrect a few times in the past few days. Really, just sometimes it's that way, and it just, with all of the personalities and then all of the history of the personalities, you're just like, this must be this way. And you look at it and it really, in a lot of these situations, and there's been 3 or 4 in the past couple of weeks that I've been incorrect about. Even what you're looking at supports what you think is going on. And you're just like, oh man. So, I'm not exempt either. But I'm not erring on the side of anything having to do with Summer Wells. It's just idiots around it. So, it's
don't be hard on yourself because
no, but I'm confident enough in myself to admit it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't be hard on yourself if you get something wrong. I've screwed up a lot of things because it's been so long and there's so much information in your head. And look at the state of affairs in this community where, even last night in my chat, I was really surprised a couple times with some of the other mistakes people have been making, but it's because there's so many creators just throwing anything to the wall to see if it'll stick, like a whole pound of spaghetti on the ceiling. Like, is this one going to stick? Is this one going to stick? Is this one going to stick? And then you've got people confused that were not confused before, because as these stories, every live stream that happens, the stories change a little bit more. Something gets left out or something gets added. And I know that a lot of people will come into the chat and I'll get completely sidetracked by things while I'm in the middle of stuff because I'm like, this is way too important to let the entire chat think that this happened. I got to address it. Like, because I know where it started or originated, I can go back and find it for them. Not with everything, of course, but many things I know exactly where they are. And I'm like, no, this is what happened. It wasn't this, it was this. But then other things, the simplest of things, I'll fuck it up, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I don't know. It's weird.
Let me see if I can do what he's saying.
That in 2023, the best way to make money
I think that's
Amazon
a Windows
is
thing.
not.
What?
So you go to the transcript, he said.
Oh, I will upload the Billy quotes in 5 to 10 minutes. I know how to go direct to the quotes using Control F and searching Billy with the okay, Carl.
I don't know where you Control F at. Control F. Oh,
I think he's saying in this program something. He knows how to find.
Oh, I just did it, baby.
Things, Billy.
Oh, Carl.
What is it? How do
right
you
there.
do it?
So you just highlight a comment, any comment, and then you go Control F, and it pops up a bar from your browser, and you just put a word in it, and it will search everything with that word, just like how JSB does. So
oh shit.
Yeah. So let me just let it play. Wow, man, damn, bro.
Great. Carl, good job.
103. Let's listen to this.
I guess she said touch the little kids. That's what I was told.
He's trying to have what? Kids?
Like give them a hug or something.
What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I mean, it could be because she's had this, name was Billy, right? Yes, Billy. Billy was up there doing that stuff until we got arrested.
And Billy is the brother?
No.
The son?
No.
Billy was an old drunk.
He's what?
He was
Billy was an old drunk.
So Hunter actually says while he was up there doing those
Says
things,
Billy fucking a number of times.
Carl, you're right. Apologize. You know
Yeah,
what? I didn't
a
even
number of
remember
times.
he said that.
Yep.
And I'd almost be willing to say, unless Hunter wouldn't have added while he was up there doing that, I could have even said right now that Hunter may have just mentioned him because he was around the property, but that changed it when he said he was up there doing those things until he got arrested. Yeah. Okay, so Carl's right. Hunter changed it from Billy to Andy Bernard. That was up there touching kids.
Check this out. Damn, this just streamlined a bunch of shit for me, Carl. I just put in close into this interview. And if you can see here, it popped up some things. Do you know inside the house? Okay, let's listen to this really quick. Because this is where he got squirrely when he was talking about with the finger in the eye about the what was she wearing, right?
But when we left, I think she had shorts on at first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you remember what he just said he doesn't know what she was wearing. That's what he said.
Yes.
He said he doesn't know what she was wearing.
He said, how could he remember? Basically, he said,
Yeah.
I think it was another comment like he's, just
But he seems to know an awful lot of intricacies right here. It's that he can't remember it all. That's the thing. He can't remember it. And I'm guessing the reason he can't remember it is because he didn't experience it.
But he remembered.
And it's not true.
That morning, he remembered. This is the thing. How do you forget what she's wearing when you claim to have been there while Candace was basically getting her ready? That's not right either.
No.
Almost like, Hunter not remembering the milk. He doesn't remember the milk.
Let me see what he says about the milk here. Man, this is a fucking great way. Yeah, when I got... Hold on, let's see. There's 14 different hits for milk. There's one. Okay. Hold on.
Passenger seat right there.
Okay. Okay. And where's Summer?
Summer, she is on the driver's side, a
Hold
box
on.
to the back.
Okay.
And then we moved the box to the very back, the first one where the overhead to the bed is. And then we put another one back behind, like that passenger seat right there.
Okay. Okay. And where's Summer?
Summer, she is on the driver's side, in the back seat.
Okay. Was there any milk or anything like that in the car?
Real quick.
Okay.
Stop that real quick. Remember we were looking at that photo yesterday and
Yes.
I said the way that she was positioned on that seat. It was half onto behind the driver's seat. If you look at the photo
On that ribbon,
Summer,
on that little ribbon bench.
yeah, so her body is positioned so that her left leg is half on the seat behind the driver's seat, okay?
Okay.
And her body's leaning over. Her right leg is on the middle seat. Her body's leaning over onto the milk jugs. And I said to Benny, I said, if you were to take her under her arms and lift her up straight, she'd be sitting on that seat behind the driver's seat.
Right.
And I said, I wonder what the reason is for her being positioned there when she was buckled in. I said out loud that what was that space left for where the milk was? I don't understand that, because had they have put Summer in the middle seat, directly on the middle seat, with her bottom straight directly on the middle, and not half on the driver's seat, behind the driver's seat, half on the middle, she would have been far more likely to have been comfortable, or more comfortable, and she wouldn't have had to totally plopped over. She'd have been able to even just kind of like lay against the milk, where I don't understand the reasoning for her being half on that seat. You can see where she was actually sat in the vehicle.
Yeah.
By the position of her left leg. It's on the, you know how the seat has a line down and then another line. It's like the middle of the seat and then the side of the back of, you know, the, so hard to explain. She's like on the side of the.
I got it pulled up now.
Drivers. Thanks, Benny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There it is.
Do you want me to send you the original from Teresa?
That looks to be the original. It's just twisted where it's perpendicular.
Here, let me send you the full photo because you can't see her whole body. Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the full photo. I can get it in 2 seconds.
Now, do we know that this?
Oh, sorry.
Do we know that this picture hasn't been flipped around or any of that stuff? Like, there's really not a way to know that, I guess, is there? Wait,
No,
I guess the milk jug, are the letters backwards, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, that would sort of also, I think, be important to know if the picture had been flipped around, because we see many times these apps and things will flip pictures or do whatever. I don't know what they got going on.
I will say,
but I mean, that everything in this picture could actually be opposite.
I
possibly
personally don't think it is, and I'm going to tell you why. In the video, there's the photo, Benny. I sent it to you. In the video, so there's a video and there's a picture. A lot of people say there's no that picture was taken from the video. No, it wasn't. It was sent separate to Teresa from Candace, and then a video. So there was a video and a photo. In the video, you can see the sun coming in on that side of the vehicle and Summer laying just like this. I think it really is actually the exact direction, and because of the sunlight coming in and because we have the video, the problem I have with the photo is that it could have absolutely been filtered, but I don't think that Candace put a filter on this photo or messed with it, but only law enforcement would know that. But there's something
that Joker is clear.
that oh, sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like, the difference between the photo you had and the photo that's on the internet, like, is way different.
Yes, it is, because a lot of people have taken screenshots of the video. So that's why I always go and get the exact original straight from Teresa's messages with me. A lot of people take screenshots of the photo and then screenshots of live streams. I like the original always to be shared because I don't trust what's out there. People filtered it so that her eyes look like they're bulging out. People have changed the color of her lips. It's just, I hate people using this photo when it's not the original, and the original is available. It's more than available. So Benny, will you zoom in on that piece that I noticed was on the seat? With the Skittles, I noticed the other day, and I'd never noticed before, probably because of where the sun is coming in on the seat. It looks like there's it could be part of the seat. It looks like there's a long, a thin white or silver type of object here in back of the green Skittle, and next to the green, there's 2 green Skittles.
Yeah.
There's can you point it out? Do you know where I'm looking at?
Yeah.
I never noticed it before until I was looking at the photo the other day. If you guys zoom in on that, it's a little pixelated. Wonder why. When you zoom in on it.
What I just got a YouTube something or other.
Okay. But there's an object on the seat with those candies, and I'm not sure what it is. And it can't be the buckle, because The buckle is over on Summer's side. There's something on the seat. I don't think, if it was a phone, truth to light, it would be shoved into the crevice of that seat. Like, it looks like a very small object, or I wouldn't even know what to describe it as, but it's definitely there. And I didn't even notice it till we were looking at this photo.
Someone's trying to take this stream down right now.
What?
Someone is trying to take this stream down. So it says they want this hidden. Like,
yes,
I can show you right now. I can show you.
So Benny, you know,
this is crazy.
Private this stream and record it over to make a copy, because this should never be lost. And
this is crazy.
Tells you everything you need to know. Somebody right now is very intimidated by what we're talking about.
Whoa.
Yep. I'm never
This is crazy.
Benny's never stopping either. Neither of us are. Go
wow.
ahead. You're going to have to stop me physically in real life to ever shut me up about this. Good luck. Good luck.
Wow. When you click on the link for the video, it's this video we're doing right now.
Yeah. I have no doubt.
Yeah, we got this. This has to be a part of it.
It's going to go private, and I'll report it. Or Benny will report
this is
it, and
wild.
it's going to be saved. Just in case this one does get taken down, because this is too important to be taken down, and they know it's important.
Unbelievable.
This is who is in this community. There is someone in this community who does not want justice for Summer Wells, and they do not want her found. And
Andrew Hilts. He's trying to take it down right now.
I bet he is. Andrew, you're looking shadier and shadier.
Hell yeah, my boy. What you doing, bro? You tripping, Jack? You doing too much, man. You moving too fast, bro.
Yes, this is his choice. He's not, and nobody's even being ugly to him.
Look, man, you moving too fast, bro. He's trying to take it down. So when you click on what video, it says right here, we do not plan to remove your video at this time. But look at it. You hit it right here. It goes to this one we're doing right now.
You've done nothing wrong.
Well, you tripping, bro. You doing an awful lot, homie. You doing some tripping, man.
The truth, right? People don't like the truth. And when you hit on the truth,
damn.
Nobody has done anything on this stream to disparage anybody.
No.
At all. No one's been ugly or unkind. Not at all. No other reason than...
Man, he's harassing me now at this point.
Well,
it's harassment, bro.
And Andrew, stop saying it was Benny that called the hospitals. I did that. Benny didn't even know I was doing it. He went live, and I said, well, let me handle this real quick. I did that. Stop holding him responsible for shit. I'm the one that called. You want to know why? Because I'm here for Summer. Unlike you. You've never been here for Summer?
Dang, homie. You are tripping, bro. You got a lot going on, bro. And I hate that you do, because you're trying to punish the rest of us behind what you are making like handle all this AT&T, man. This don't have to be YT. Handle it AT&T. Handle it privately, bro. But you're putting it out here, and it's for public consumption. And what do you think? Like, oh, we're just supposed to ignore all this shady shit and this whole different story. Nobody didn't twist none of your arms and make you go on there and make all these discrepancies. Nobody did this. You did it, bro.
And don't forget, Benny, and this is also a part of what's led up to today. Don't forget, every single person listening, that Andrew thought he was going to be arrested and charged in the case of Summer Wells.
Yeah.
And he specifically stated out of his own mouth that he was going to be charged for something to do with her case.
That's what he said. Yeah, and then I wrote the song 18 Indictments, remember?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Yes. He believed some YouTuber told him he was about to go to prison. He believed the shit. He believed it. Yeah, that's if that ain't guilty, you know what I'm saying, guilty behaviors, I don't know what is, my boy.
He's going to be indicted by the grand jury. Yep, Bridget. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, he got some on the sly information. Yep.
I think you did damn good, Benny, and I'm proud as fuck of you. And
thank you.
Seriously, I don't know what it was yesterday that led to what happened yesterday morning with Hunter, but whatever it was, you did such a good job, and I appreciate you so much for. I really appreciate you so much.
I wish I could take more of an accolade from it, but we're dealing with real basic humans here. Like we dealing, a step down from apes. Really, is what we're dealing with here. So there's pretty easy to look at the people in captivity and kind of just sort of break it down, and then get a couple of steps ahead of it, and then step in its path and scare the shit out of it.
For summer, it's such a big deal, and it's not that I'm trying to I'm literally saying no one was able to get the results that you were, and you did a really good job. And that for summer is this is a very big deal. What you got to come out could change everything for summer. We have no idea what law enforcement needs or what they know.
That's right.
Or what's going to hit.
That's right.
And you had every hand in getting this to happen, and you did.
No, Andrew played a big part. I got to thank Andrew. You like co-MVP, really kind of just honorable mention. Allie is the real MVP. Like, she knew that her boy wasn't telling the truth. She knew it. I mean, you can't dispute that. I mean, you've heard Mama Bear talk about it. You've heard Andrew talk about it. You've heard Dumpling out of her own mouth talk about it. I believe you. Now that I believe you, it's a problem, huh? It's what it always is. But I believe you wholeheartedly. I believe y'all thought that boy knew more than he was saying, and you were right. All of you were right. Mama Bear, sleuth on, baby. You must be your senses are the senses are strong with that one. Like she felt like he knew some more. Like, shouts out to y'all. Take your accolades, because that's what you're fighting for. You're fighting to be recognized and validated on social media. So let me validate you. Man, y'all knew, and you were right, because now we just got it. So y'all had been telling us all along, right? Like, we should be working towards hearing a different story out of H. Something ain't right. We just never knew it was going to develop right in our laps like this. This is insane. I digress.
Can I just say something to Sage Sleuth really quick?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I will love
Where's
Sage.
my damn lighter?
I will love Sage for you, and I don't know what's going on in your world, or if you have the time. I know life gets so busy, especially around this time of year. But I will love for you to come back. I would love to hear your voice. The knowledge that you have, not everybody is capable of displaying here. And there's not a lot of creators left that will truly put their neck out there for summer. You're one of very few left that will, and you're very much missed. We don't have many creators here left who truly care, and you're one of them. And I would really love at some point to see you back streaming if you're up to it, or, because you're important here, truly. With the amount of research that you've done, it goes unmatched in many facets. So I hope you know that, you are really valuable here in this community. You're very valuable to Summer Wells. We appreciate you.
And I think, I was talking to Tiffany earlier. I was like, really, the boy, he messed up. From like a real politics, like he says he don't politic. Let me give you a little insight into the politics. The real politics are not supposed to happen online. Although you can go and you can see all these No Jumper podcasts where they got all these Crip Macs and Brick Babies and all these people on here where you know, like they're making a name from doing podcasts talking about Crip business. Well, it's coming into like gang business is not supposed to happen online. And then you got the boy really talking about how he doesn't talk about, he's giving you the disclaimer, I don't do the politics, and then goes to put gang business right online with missing kid business. And that's really just hot. You know, it makes the whole situation, it raises the temperature on it, right? Because now the constructive minds are like, well, hold on, what is a gang? Like what reach do you think that this boy actually, like, he wants you to think he's in a gang, so let your fantasies run wild. He's in a gang. Okay, so is it like a Boys in the Hood gang, or is it like you know, Tony Montana and you know, Manolo? Like, what kind of gang is this? Is it very sophisticated? Is it not sophisticated? Is it non-existent? Like, what kind of gang are we talking about here? Because when you think of even the lowest level of gang activity, it has to do with moving a product from one place to the next, whether it's trafficking people, sex, drugs, contraband, arms, explosives. Sometimes it's job for job, maybe. But you start to open up a larger, like, who else in this thing is screaming out that they have access to a whole group of other criminals that will lay their life down for him? That's what he said. Do you believe him, or do you need him to show you? What's one of the things you could take away from the internet? One of the things I've taken away from the internet is this. Hey, believe people the first time they tell you who they are. Don't make them prove to you who they think they are. Once they show you and you meet a threshold and you're like, okay, yeah, you got the light dinging now. The old threshold alert is going off. Yeah, no, I can't even fuck with this person. When it, like, what do you got to have? What?
Sky Blue is in your chat, and she says she's Billy's daughter.
Who's
been
Billy?
in my chat for years. I didn't know that, and she
Sky
said
Blue.
she knows her father was not homeless on the hill.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Hello, Miss Sky Blue. Yeah, I don't know much about Mr. Billy.
I don't know
Period.
if she heard. It was said that he. Oh gosh. Well, I'm sorry. I'll just say what was repeated, and with all.
Well,
due
hold
respect,
on. Could just make. I mean, I could just play back what he said.
Oh well, it goes even further back to
Okay.
Allie, because Allie was the first initial person, and Leslie Hill, that said that Billy would drink, and when he'd get into disagreement with his wife, he'd sleep in the shed. I think people did refer to him as homeless, but people do twist shit. I remember the story being told that it was only when he was drinking that he would
run
hang
off
out there.
Yeah. I've heard the same thing too.
Okay.
What's she saying here? I'm missing it.
The same Billy. Okay, Sky Blue. Okay. No, my dad worked his ass off every day and stayed home.
Okay.
Okay, friends with Don and Candace and Grandma, or? Okay, she says it's not the same Billy.
Okay,
just a misunderstanding.
Yep, no problem. Oh,
To Jackie.
wait a minute. Jackie. Okay, yeah, Jackie. I got you.
Okay.
I was like, wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, Jackie Dobbs.
Sorry about
He was
that.
the one from Georgia, the mechanic guy that bought the or he's good handyman. He's very handy, craftsman of some sort. Did some metal work and different things. Jackie, yeah. Okay. Jackie and Elvis at the dog, Elvis. Gotcha. Fair enough. So let me ask you, Sky Blue, this whole thing has pulled even you in as being related to Jackie Dobbs. This whole thing has pulled you in now? Play guitar. Yeah, he's a real good guitar player. Could sing. Damn. This thing has wide reach, doesn't it? Like, I know this woman probably had no reason. Like, how did you get hip to come in here, Miss Sky Blue?
She's been here. She's been in your chat forever, and mine. She's been in our community for the whole.
Okay. Okay. I know I've seen her name around. I guess I didn't, I didn't put the faces to the names and all of that.
Benny, I think that even like, remember yesterday when we were
Okay.
talking and all of this started to like really take shape, and how we were talking about how important all of this was, that it really could be what peels back so many layers for law enforcement. Not for us, because they know so much more than
Yeah,
we do.
no, we just hopefully. I mean, if
A lot open.
yeah, if by chance this thing is even playing out remotely on the internet, hopefully some of these things could be helpful to the powers that be that are watching. Like, you know, like they can't deny what a force the YouTube has been. So there is someone somewhere, probably at least one person, monitoring a lot of the things that are happening with the key players, right? These things, I mean, and also, you know, like Andrew telegraphs so much. Like he's telegraphing the fact that you can see what he's about to do because he's going to tell you what he's about to do. So, you know, days in advance, sometimes, you know, not always days in advance, sometimes hours in advance, he's going to have his son up. You can easily share a link and say, okay, agent such and such looks like he's going to have his son up. Go ahead and cue in. Man, they queuing into all this stuff, man. You know they are. Billy, there's that guy Billy, the Wild Bill. I've been in the chat trying to figure out what's happening because I care a lot about Summer, and if anyone in my family had anything to do with it, I want them to pay. Okay, so how do I say? Let me because I want to be very sensitive in the way I say this. Do you feel like there's a possibility that maybe, I mean, do you know something about the pathology of Mr. Dobbs that would maybe suggest to you that he's capable? I mean, because, you know, you're hearing a lot of stories where somebody might say, oh, no. My Uncle Jackie, there's just no way he would, he's not even capable of anything like this. Do you think that he might be capable of something like this? You know what I'm saying? Because I think, like, if they were to say, because my brother, the deputy sheriff, he's here right now. Like if somebody said, oh, yeah, and I think there's no way my brother would be capable of doing anything like that. Right? I would be able to preface it right off the bat that way. You know what I'm saying? But you saying that if anything in your family if somebody in your family has something to do with it, you know, you want them to pay. So does that mean that maybe I've said it, I'm just reiterating myself. Is there something about Mr. Dobbs' pathology that you know about that would make you not right off the bat say, nah, he didn't? I know the family dynamics. Okay. Fair enough. Now, let me ask you one more question. And if you could answer it, it would be probably super dope. And it's kind of developing into a two-parter, or a and a B subsection under one. Do you know more than the internet knows? And if you do we have it all twisted up? So that could be yes, no, yes, no. You know, I believe he would 100. She believes Jackie would. Huh. She believes Jackie would. It's all alleged.
Okay.
Hell no, I believe
maybe one of
Dee
these
keeps
days,
following
you know,
me,
she might
asking
want
me
to
if
talk
Jackie
or whatever.
Dobbs is
Both
going
of
to
us
jail.
are available, and you're welcome to speak anytime.
She says Dee keeps following her, asking me if Jackie Dobbs is going to jail.
Bushcraft D? D presents D?
D presents. This is interesting. Yeah, Kiko.
You know, D is a good egg. She's been around from day one, and
she's of the earth too. You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
She's from the earth.
Oh yeah, she could survive in the wilderness for probably months. D is a badass when it comes to bushcrafting, and she's out there doing. She could live off the earth and really make it. I believe that.
She said yes. So my question was, do you know more than the internet, and do we have it twisted up? I'm guessing one yes fits both questions. Am I correct in that? I had to remember back to what my questions were. The questions were, do you know more than the internet, and do we have it twisted up if you know more? And that's always an option too. You don't have to say if you don't want. Yes, she said, Billy. This is very interesting how this developed today.
Yeah. I was just asking her because I know
she must know what happened for her to be asking me. Hold on. She must know what happened if she's asking me if he's going to jail. Do you know what happened? So do you, D, and Jackie all know what happened and that it's expectant for him to go to jail? About something? I don't want to suggest that it's about anything with Summer Wells because it doesn't have to be. No. Okay. Fair enough. Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you for joining us at any rate. Thank you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Miss Tiffany.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask if she's ever had any kind of communication with Dee, like, because I know that Sky Blue's account was made on November 2023, just a couple of months ago. So I was wondering how, maybe if she had any idea how Dee would be able to have known who she was under the name Sky Blue, if maybe she had identified herself in another chat before this. Have you made it public before now that you were related to Jackie? Because I'm just wondering how.
Right here, pinned.
Oh.
She said, I just know that my dad died, and when I came here, I was told I'm related to Jackie Dobbs, and they have been gang stalking. She dates Jackie.
Dee presents dates Jackie?
No. The one that's, I don't know. Holy shit, I shouldn't say no.
Okay, hold on a second. And I want to ask this because...
Here, you want to come up, madam? You can come up if you want. Shoot, we ain't messed up. D, yes. D presents is dating Jackie Dobbs? That seems strange, doesn't it? Or am I just, is there something wrong with me, or is that what's actually going on here?
I just would like to know how Dee would have, or not Dee, how anyone would have known under the name Sky Blue that she was related. I'm trying to put that together. I don't know how anybody on YouTube would have known under the name.
She's saying she was dating Jackie Dobbs. She was. So that's what she's saying right here. Holy schmoly. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I know I'm asking questions too, and I ought not, because she's been asked other questions, and I don't know actually what she's answering yes to. I'm kind of a little bit lost, but I'm just going to let you do the talking from here on out, Tiffany. Go ahead.
No. I was just asking if she would have any idea how people would know.
There you go. Who's in the zoo? It could be, let me preface this really quick because you're right. It could just be a hoax. I don't want to say this is a hoax, but in the event that, it's some sort of maneuver to get us to, dialogue misinformation, I definitely am not in the furtherance of.
It's not going to happen, though, because we are asking all of the right questions, like this one I keep trying to ask in the chat. How would anybody know? I was wondering if Sky Blue came in under her real name or something when she first came to YouTube on November 23rd or November 2023.
So she finds out about Summer and then finds out she's related to Jackie Dobbs. Is that correct?
How would anybody on YouTube know she was related to Jackie when her name is Sky Blue? How would anyone
Oh, your
on
family.
YouTube have been able to tell her she was related to Jackie? She said she found out on YouTube she was related to Jackie. Her name is Sky Blue. That
Yes.
doesn't make sense to me, so I'm trying to.
So she did find out in that order. She heard about Summer first, then came here and found out that she was. I got you. Okay.
Somebody told her here that she was related to Jackie. How would they know that under the name Sky Blue? It's not like her name is Jamie Dobbs. Do you know what I mean? I'm asking her in the chat how anybody on YouTube would have been able to tell her she was related to Jackie. They didn't have her identity.
Correct. I agree with that. And I've convoluted it again by asking questions. I apologize for that.
You didn't convolute. I think I did, because Dana just said no, not YouTube. People in her real life told her.
I found out in person. Okay, got you.
Sorry.
So.
I apologize.
Okay.
Maybe I need to mute.
No. I think we're just getting through it. Because everyone's got questions, I guess, at this point. So understanding that she did earlier in the conversation say that she does believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Sky. You said that from what you've heard or what you know, rather probably what you've heard, if you don't know him well, that he would be absolutely, you said he could be capable of something like this 100%. But they have attached themselves asking me about Jackie going to jail. Okay. So the question was, damn it. Okay.
Are you trying to remember your question?
Yes.
I believe that you asked,
it's just sort of an overload, a sensory overload here for a minute. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, a little bit. It's funny.
Nobody on YouTube told me that. Okay.
I don't feel comfortable to spread the rumor that Dee Presents is dating Jackie. Clear that up just in case no one can hear me, because Dee has never said that, and I don't think that's appropriate to say she's dating him. I don't know that.
Okay, what'd she say? Well, it's funny when Dee, who dated him, has made the comments to me about. Now, when you click on this Dee's name, I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, if she clicked on the name, does it come up to a lady who has a channel who makes videos about Summer Wells? Like, is that the same Dee? Does the Dee that Jackie was dating, do you know if that person makes videos on YouTube?
I'm going to put Dee's link in the chat so she can make sure she's not giving the wrong information. And even if someone was trying to divert attention, we've gotten through everything we needed to, so that wouldn't be successful. So no one even worry about it.
Wow, that's interesting.
So Dee Presents is right here. Is this the Dee that you're talking about? Because I have a line of communication to her, and I can actually speak to her, Sky Blue. This here, is this who you're talking about? I just dropped it in the chat.
Yeah, click on that. Is that the lady right there? No, we believe. I'm not saying you do. However, I would hope that in the search for truth, you could appreciate the fact that somebody would. I apologize if we sort of slice through the subtleties. We are in this community, as you probably know already, surrounded by people that will lie and do all sorts of things. In fact, they've tried to remove this video while we're making it. And YouTube is like, no, we're not going to remove it. So all of those sort of games will happen. Yesterday, we were sent a distraction. I mean, the man just blatantly said, I'm here to just, basically distract you. He didn't say just those words, but it was, what's understood don't need to be explained sort of thing. So forgive us, if the subtleties aren't really there. Jackie, he was chased off his property and hunted down on the horse. Yes. And, you know, and let me kick a little bit of my own opinion into it. I'm going to tell you what was being enforced in terms of property lines. You have to be very, very understanding of this, right? You're not dealing with the basic neighbor running the basic property situation, right? Like a lot of times it's flags or pins, or, you know, it may be a lot more identifiable depending on how you ask the survey to be done. Sometimes they might run a line where you can see it, spray paint. This was actually like rope. I believe what was happening, in my opinion, was it seemed to be like a fight for square footage at that point. It was a fight just for feet. And I feel like what could have been a motive for all this inner bickering was the fact that I wouldn't be surprised if I heard allegedly that JSB kept, you know, was encroaching, moving the line, and then enforcing the fact that she had moved the line to make their property bigger, even if just by feet. She was always going out, checking the line. They were rerunning lines. You rerunning lines, that's insane. Right? So what that tells me is there was I wouldn't be surprised to hear allegedly that there was some sort of basically like theft of land. Like maybe he felt like he was right here. Maybe they felt like, no, we're going to move it over here, make their space bigger. But the thing is it's not anything that the realtor was involved in. At that point, once they didn't pass the paperwork, man, it's just Dobbs against Bernards and Browns. That's all it is. They believe they got this much. They believe they got this much. We're not hearing the guts of the real disgruntlement. We're hearing that he's on the line or he's over the line. Like, so he's got all this space, but he's actually camping right on the line of his property or over the line on Bernard property. Why the big huff? Like, all you got to do is just go over and say, hey, man, like, it appears you might be a little bit over the line. Like out here, I guess, you know, maybe we should just do a little introduction in the way Tennesseans handle, you know, issues with the property line discrepancy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be a real gentleman about this shit. Handle it one time, get it over with, and then not have to worry about that shit again ever in life, unless he sells it to the next idiot or they, whatever the case is, right? So there was something going on right there, and it was motivated by basically one thing, which is greed, whether it's square footage of land or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But the tactic worked. So whatever Dobbs had a dream and was planning on doing, they snatched that from him. Now he owns the land still, but isn't there. Hasn't put his little property, hasn't built his little dream up right there. He's been snatched from that. And I believe that's fucked up, you know, in my opinion. So, and that was all due to whatever deal. I mean, for one, he had Bernard and Brown hunting him one night after telling him which way to go, then going to hunt him in the direction that they told him to go, feeling like that's the way he's going to go. And he didn't. He went the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things, like what were they going to do to him if they found him that night with the spotlight and all that stuff? What would they do to him? And why would they want to do it? If JSB didn't even own that land. So it's just motivated by greed. It's motivated by something much more. It would seem like you are so dead set on anyone being so close. Is that so they can't hear what you got going on over there? Is it that fucked up? That you I mean, because it's not Andy out there in the middle of the day running off people that are close. It's JSB, the police, and Damien Booker. That's who it is. So you got to remember, we got to be able to remember all those things on the fly. I know it's hard. Boom. So, I've had a lot of criticism for Mr. Dobbs not knowing anything about him. He's 1D to me. I don't know. I know what his face looks like, but there again, I've seen multiple variations of what he looks like after a shave and all of that other haircut, so I couldn't probably point him out in the crowd unless he was with the dog or something, so I don't know much about him, but I've been very critical. However, my criticalness of him didn't cost him the dream to build up his property in Tennessee. It was other things that actually happened there where he was like, man, fuck this.
He had 2 vehicles there. He had planned on, it was packed full of tools. He was doing his thing. Something went down and he's like, man, fuck this. I'm out of here. Because he was even working with what he was given that was misleading from the real from Joey Hahn. I go back on you motherfuckers, right? From what Joey Hahn had posted, the Rolling Meadows or whatever it was, to actually what it was when he gets there, right? He was still working with it. He was clearing, he was cutting trees. He was doing a lot of shit. He's planning on making that break from his wife to go there. So that's what started making me think he does. Gotcha. So it's a lot of things. You can't just look at the new detail. The new details ripple out and cascade into different angles and designs of where it might go. It touches everything, right? It's like if you move this piece, you have to move everything else you think you understand. You got to be able to adjust that to the new information you hear. And that's what's very important, right? That's what's not to be overlooked. It doesn't matter whose name is in it. It doesn't matter if they're calling me Benny Sleazeball. I don't care about that. Thank you for call me all the sleazeballs you want. Just keep on with the discrepancies, would you? You know, just keep on with it. That's where I'm at with that. So, you know, none of that isn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are the superstars now. I'm sorry that we went through all this hell between Allie and Andrew and all the cussing and the F your mothers and all that. I'm sorry we had to go through all of that in order for you to get your son to tell the truth. Because I believe him. I believe what he said yesterday to the most degree. I think he's still a derelict liar, but I think yesterday was the best version of it, because what he said is that's the first version. He said yesterday that's what he told the police. And now he's just reiterating what he said he's already told the police, but what he's doing is he admitted that he lied to CM and them, or was involved in some scripting with CM. I don't know which. Probably, I would hate to think that CM scripted all that to be a lie on purpose. But I guess at this point, I wouldn't be surprised, because what you have is a dynamic where what? We're talking about somebody whose job, he's trained 30, 40 years plus to be a detective. That means remember facts, and he can't remember the facts. Now you got the lead detective on the internet can't remember the facts, and the boy who's been in the center of this complete thing, he don't remember either. How do you have these two people, both that were in the same fucking interview? That's probably a huge takeaway. I don't know what you think, Tiffany. Huge takeaway is that the two motherfuckers that were there, nobody else. We ain't asked Allie what she remembers or nobody else. CM don't remember and Hunter don't remember. How in the fuck is that? How do both the people that were in the interview that was viewed over 150,000 times, the thing that has given them both esteem where they are now, how do they not remember what they said? Fucking unbelievable. There's no one that can straighten out what was actually said or done. Not between Chris, not between Josh, not between Andrew, Hunter, no one. It takes us. And then when we do it, what do? Well, they're going to tear you up. Say, oh, you're attacking them. Oh, we're attacking them. If this was Chris Watts, you motherfuckers would be a hog and shit. Or if this was Lisk, or no, anybody but this beloved thing that you want to protect. And I don't know why you want to protect it like this, but here it is. Shannon, it's on her page. Well, fair enough. If one of the moderators could go ahead and grab her.
It's Shannon. So it's not that it's on her page as proof. It's just her tag. So her tag is at Shannon, SHANNON.867.
Okay.
And it says, my daddy was never homeless on the hill, bitch, period.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for that, Sky Blue. We sure appreciate your insight. If you would like to, if you'd like to email me, I certainly, if somebody could share my email, please. It's benlindsay94@gmail.com. We could talk more and see what you actually be willing to talk about. who owned the land that JD bought. It was one of Andrew's, or Andy rather, Andy Bernard's aunts that owned that land. Am I correct? TM?
Sorry, what is it, Benny?
The land that was sold to Jackie Dobbs was owned by an aunt of Andy B. Is that correct?
The owner of Jackie's property, the previous owner was.
Thank you, Trish.
The blank on my. Hold on, let me.
I wanted to say, because she was like, it was something about family and wanting to offer cash. Remember Jody was saying? So I felt like it was an aunt or a cousin or.
The name was shit. Someone in the chat is going to have it immediately. And while I know either Dana or Sage Sleuth is going to know, or what Big Eye, they're going to know. Can I ask one question?
Yeah, please. Ask away. Fire away.
So on Sky Blue's account.
Yeah.
I'm just going to recall what happened in the chat really quick. So when she had come in, and this is not an attack. I'm just trying to make sense of what's going on and try, figure this out. When you put that in your description, it's interesting to me because when you would come in, you were under the assumption that it might have been the Billy that was, arguing with his wife, staying in the shed and such. But then you quickly did realize it wasn't the right one, right? So if you know now in this very moment that you had the wrong one, did you just figure it out? And you had this in your description. So all this time, has this been on your description and you just figured it out that it was not the same Billy? Because it's just a question of mine that I have since I saw you quickly come to the conclusion, no, it was the wrong Billy. My dad's definitely not that one, but your description says my dad.
Thank you, Ms. Bridget.
Homeless on the hill bitch, period. Did you just put that description up and while we were live, or did you come to YouTube with that description?
She said she just put it there a minute ago.
And respectfully, I'm not trying to be rude at all.
Yes, ma'am. That's the one. No, we got some real thinkers here. There's a ton of Billies even in my neighborhood. Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, email me, and we certainly like to talk to you and stuff, and just see what you know. Again, any Jackie Dobbs information contained in is our respective opinions. I don't necessarily subscribe to or don't subscribe to anything Sky Blue says or anything Tiffany says, unless I say I do. So there's that. I think that overall, the issue with what Andrew has pushed to, because it's got all that defiance factor in it, right? Thank you again, Sky Blue, for joining us. It's got all this defiance factor built into it, right? And this defiance factor, it's almost like the defiance factor when you look at it. If you were, and we're not psychiatrists or psychologists or doctors or any of that, but if you were just as a layman on the fly on YouTube, sleuther looking at it, you're like, man, some of the stuff that has happened in the past month or two, in terms of when Hunter talks to his dad online, you get this change, or this it's extreme. I mean, the last time Hunter was on, they were asking, for money for questions. And Hunter said that, there's been some disagreement. Somebody come over with a shotgun. It wasn't good. There's just a lot of drama, and now here it is a month and a half or, 2 months later, and it's back to this next extreme. But it's almost like Andrew has zero interest in protecting his son's interest. And that's what's just really shitty about it.
Oh, he's terrible.
And I wish it wasn't like that. I honestly do. Like, I wish that he had more of an interest in even if it meant that you're going to, I guess, lie again, right? Or get together with him and listen to his old interview and then answer only those questions. Like, do something that's in his interest so that when this pops out, it doesn't look so discrepancy filled. Like, because this thing is chock full of discrepancy. Terrible on the worst level. It's almost like this is not Thug Life 101. Like what they want you to make it look like over there, oh, the skis ball and this and that, and fuck these people, they ain't nothing. Like, bro, you letting this boy, you giving him a platform in front of 400 people to change his fucking story up. And then what happens with what he says, who's the war between? The war is between Andrew and Chris M. It's not between me. Because Andrew is CM is the one that's painted this topography that you have to follow in order, if you believe that. And if you're against that, then you're against anything Josh has said and any of that stuff, because it's what Hunter said to them. They back what Hunter says, basically. They're like, what Hunter says is that's the Holy Grail now. So anything Hunter says now that's different, what you saw last night is the tail end of that back door, is that what Hunter says now burns up what Chris has laid down off of what Hunter said before, people. Can I get an amen? What Hunter's doing now burns up. He's saying, no, the boys are over here. The boys are over there. It burns up what Chris has been saying all along and what Josh is going to have to support. And so it is a whole big old ripple. It's a whole cascade. It's a let's get in on the news. Let's get in on the new happenstance, but let's not report it all the way. Let's put the shuck and jive on it. That's what it is. I don't really have anything more to say after that. I mean, this thing could go on and on and on and on, and we've been here almost 4 hours now. I do appreciate it. It's so apparent to the logical mind what the hell's going on. Now, when I say what's going on, I'm not suggesting that they're scamming money with pretending Allie's sick. I'm not saying that at all. I haven't never said that. What are you people actually mad at Benny Keys because he questioned some shit? You didn't like the way it sounded, and then the gang member came out and invited/threatened me to his house? Like, is that what you're mad about? Are you mad that I made the Golden Horse a gang member? Or is that what you're mad about? Because you're not, what do I look like attacking a gang member? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you people are saying. You people are saying Benny Keys and TM are fucking attacking the gang. Where's the gang at? If I'm attacking the gang, where is the gang at saying, hey, you done crossed the line, mister? It's 12 high noon in front of the OK Corral, the saloon. Where is it? So I guess I didn't actually. I'm not attacking the gang that would stand up for him. I'm not attacking him in a way his lawyer is going to get involved. And not to mind you, not to remind you, it is one of the best lawyers in all of Tennessee. No shit. That's what he says. Let's believe everything the boy says. Man, I'm spooked. The gang member is attacking me with his lawyer now. I'm fucking spooked. I don't want no more. I tap out. Gang. I tap out. That's where we're at here. You want to believe that hype, people? Believe that shit. Is Benny Keys attacking the gang member who has people that will lay down their life for him? You got to ask yourself that. Anyways, Tiffany, you have anything to say in closing?
No, just thank you, Benny.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me. And I appreciate all of you for joining me. I don't know. You could be probably looking for a lot more content, Andrew, coming to a theater soon. Thank you.